Northside will be taking on Cabot at Mayo Thompson Stadium tonight, so they've got a chance maybe to get a win. We don't know. Next week's game, the Ballard Rogers Avenue may be a very important game next week if both teams win tonight.
Could really mean something, not that to take anything away from the rivalry between Northside and Southside. And this will be the last time that it's in conference play, because next year Southside's going to the West, Northside will stay in the Central per the vote of the Arkansas Activities Association, and something different's going to happen next year.
And you know, it's been a tough year for Southside, obviously coming into this ball game at 1-7, but you can't say enough about the effort that Southside has put out these last 5 weeks, especially last week against Little Rock Catholic, down 24-7 into the fourth quarter. They make a furious comeback, get it close to 24-20 with maybe a chance to go in there and take the lead. Are not able to do it, but it's a team right now that close but no cigar. They've got to figure out a way to win a ball game.
Yeah, and it's a tough road to hoe when you think that our offense has scored 117 points this year. Our defenses give up 249. Nothing against our defense, but we've got to have more than 117 points. Conversely, if you look at Little Rock Central, our opponent tonight, they have 238 points offense, and they have 245 points that have been scored against them.
With that being said, Little Rock Central really, their first three ball games, scored a lot of points in those games against Heritage and West Memphis, and really were on a roll, and they're really kind of getting things turned around here in Central. We know the rich tradition of Central football is going to come back at some point. Just hope it's not too quick. And, but if you look at Southside offensively, last week they moved the ball at times. We saw some good blocking by Marlon Briggs, Alvin Trong in the middle of the line, getting hosts for Jay Washington. But, again, it's what Coach preaches every week. It's those turnovers seem to be what will do us in each week.
Yeah, and turnovers are mental mistakes when you think about it. Because if I do everything I'm supposed to do, you won't have a turnover. Just like jumping off sides when you're on defense. It's all up in your head. And to win that battle is the biggest part of this game. Our team has talent. Our team can run. We've got the folks in the positions to make the plays. But you have to be able to finish. And when I think of the offense tonight, I want to continue from all the positives, not the negatives, but all the positives we saw last week.
Exactly. Hey, be sure to check out Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley, 2917 Old Greenwood Road, Fort Smith, 479-646-6792 for free auto, home, and life insurance quotes. Check out Chris Dooley. Be back with more after this. It's the Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3. Go ahead and do 3-minute commercial in between, Clay. We've got like 18 minutes.
Too small or too large.
Yes, sir.
Construction does roofing, siding, gutters, concrete, HVAC, plumbing, electric, flooring, painting, windows, and more. Whatever your needs, remember Chapey Construction can do it all. Locally owned, state licensed, and insured for your protection. Chapey Construction, 434-5203.
Proud sponsor of Southside.
It works.
Go Landon.
Get excited about the most important meal of the day at the Egg and I restaurant. The Egg and I serves up delicious, fresh, cooked-to-order breakfast, brunch, and lunch entrees, all in a friendly, clean atmosphere. You'll love their healthy choices and fresh juices so much you'll want to sign up for the Egg Club loyalty card to earn free meals and coupons, or plan your next meeting in their meeting room. So now that you're excited, make plans to visit the Egg and I restaurant at 3801 Planters Road. Call 242-3447. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
People say that Links at Chanthy Crossing is the best barbecue they've ever had and a great place to sit down and watch the game on TV. So come on in and discover Links at Chanthy Crossing for yourself. A relaxed atmosphere, great barbecue.
You see okay with the lights on?
Mouth-watering
Yeah.
burgers, plenty of TVs to watch the game, a game room with a pool table, and more. Good food and good times await you at Links at Chanthy Crossing off Custer Boulevard, Fort Smith.
Wanting a fresh feel, look, or decor for your home or space? Wasted Repurpose Marketplace has your specific look to fit your budget and your personality.
That'd help.
Handpicked, vintage, antique, farmhouse, and so much more decor will have your visions becoming reality. Wasted also has it all for your fall, home, and holiday decorating. Voted a Best of the Best finalist for 3 years in a row. Shop at Wasted, 1520 Towson Avenue, or find them on Facebook. Wasted Repurpose Marketplace, 1520 Towson Avenue.
Crazy.
Life would be so much easier if you could afford a reliable car. If you could get
Last commercial.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
We only use the finest quality diamonds and gemstones versus selling promotional quality items. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. If you can dream it, we can make it. Custom jewelry to repairs and watches, all services are done in our store. Cheshire's accepts all credit cards and offers 12-month same-as-cash financing. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, where our customers become our friends.
Welcome back to the Chris Dooley Shelter Insurance pregame show. Philip, as you look at the defensive side of the ball for the Mavs, yeah, they've given up a lot of points, but this defense really has played well. And I go back to that middle three last week. And of course, I'm not including Sean Rogers here, even though he should be included. But Jack Hannon probably had his best game as a Maverick last week. Leighton Johnson gets better every week. And, I mean, Landon Chafee, what can you say about Landon Chafee?
Our linebackers have really been very active, very fast. But think about Jeremiah Van Hook along with Sean Rogers doing some good things last week. Even on special teams, actually was part of a blocked punt, which was very transitional at the time during the Catholic game and gave us a shot to win.
The one thing that Southside defensively needs to do, though, Philip, is we talked about doing a great job controlling the line of scrimmage against North Little Rock, against Catholic, and really, for the most part, against Conway. But it seems like we have one big play every game that goes off that left side. It's happened in those three close losses and really kind of opened the game up with those. Somehow they got to eliminate those big plays.
Yeah, and when you get something stamped on film, I mean, these films get shared all throughout the high school ranks around Arkansas. People start seeing that, and they start looking for that. Conway did it. Cabot did it. Catholic did it. And I've run out of C's there to tell, but you know what I'm getting at is when you show that. And so I'm hoping tonight that we can counter a lot of the speed you're going to see from Little Rock Central with good technique. Good technique starts with you step up and seal that, force it back inside where those linebackers are ranging.
Exactly. One area on the defense and one area in general, I've done this a long time, and I'll tell you what, I've never seen a team hit so hard with injuries at safety this year.
Safety has been our nemesis and our Achilles heel, no pun intended. And in fact, last week, we're starting two sophomores back there in the back. There's word we may get Lyles back by next week. Don't have him tonight. But safety here could really play a pivotal role because Little Rock Central wants to run the ball. And your safety support, when those holes open up, the backers can't get there, that safety support's going to be really important tonight.
And what the Mavs are going to try to do tonight, they're actually only going to play one safety. That Dakota Wareheim is back in the lineup. He'll be the safety, bring in an extra either lineman or linebacker to play closer to the line of scrimmage. What Central will want to do tonight, Philip, is they're not really going to try to go vertical down the field as much as they'll try, similar to what we saw last week with Catholic. They'll try a lot of the swing passes out, try to get in an open space, which was very effective last week in the fact that we had those two sophomore safeties back there.
Yeah, and it may be a screen game or maybe just a jet sweep. Especially on the screen games, got to have that discipline, that technique. They're letting me go for a reason. Back off of that, and sometimes you'll see defensive linemen get interceptions.
Yeah, teams have done a very good job of exploiting the young sophomore safeties this year, but I think it's a game for Southside. Obviously, as you talked about, Central wants to line up, they want to run the ball. That really is the strength of the Southside defense. Again, the key is going to be negating that speed, not allowing the big plays.
Can't let those big plays happen, and you look at how many times this year we've been done in by the big plays. Back to the Conway game and how those three big plays they had were three touchdowns that we couldn't come back from.
The big play guy for Little Rock Central is their quarterback, Lawson Gunn, the junior quarterback. Get this, he had 1,200 yards passing the first three ball games of the year. He's had 400 since, so really kind of slowed it down. Obviously, I think the level of competition went up quite a bit when he got in the Central Conference, but nonetheless having a great year for the Central Tigers.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember Central is right at 500. They're 4-4. They're the same, or actually they have one win in conference play, but 4-4, there's nothing to scoff at.
And it's going to be a tough one again tonight as they'll play a Central defense. Again, I know we harp on this week in, week out, but the offense, again, needs to step up. And we saw it last week a bit. We saw it against North Little Rock. Obviously, we'll give a divot or a mulligan on Bryant with what happened there. We just kind of overlooked that game. But, in the previous game, Southside has done a very good job of putting together one of those long drives, one of those 10, 12-play drives. They need a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, and Keith, isn't it important that when we get those 10, 12-play drives that we finish with points? May be tough this year for us to finish with field goals. So we got to have goal line in our head. And one of our faults this year has been we haven't been real good in the red zone.
Exactly. Southside has to finish. We were harping on that last week. Southside had one really good drive going down against Catholic early in the ball game, and I think the whole time all I could stress was you got to finish, you got to finish.
Got to finish, and how important that seems so fundamental, doesn't it? But when you're not finishing, then you're putting your defense back on the field, and there's no net takeaway from it other than your defense got a few minutes on the sideline, and we want that defense to know we're protecting a lead here, not trying to claw our way back up to the top.
You're listening to Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley pregame show. We'll be back with tonight's keys to the ball game after this. It's the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3.
Champion Construction wants to
Do 3 minutes.
as your local fully licensed contractor.
Yes, sir.
Specializing in no job that is too small or too large. Champion Construction does roofing, siding, gutters, concrete, HVAC, plumbing, electric, flooring, painting, windows, and more. Whatever your needs, remember Champion Construction can do it all. Locally owned, state licensed, and insured for your protection. Champion Construction, 434-5203.
Proud sponsor of Southside football. Go Landon.
The fall celebration is here at Crabtree RV. Take advantage of RV show pricing on hundreds of new models. Deer Hunter specials under $10K and wholesale at the public prices on dozens of pre-owned RVs and the most money for your trade. These deals are so good, it's scary. So stop in today. The new 2020s are arriving daily and all the 2019s must go. See dealer for details. Only from Crabtree RV in Alma. Exit 13 on 540. Crabtree RV, where your family's dreams come true.
Life would be so much easier if you could afford a reliable car. If you could get approved for financing and move past your credit history. With Byrider, it can be easier. Choose from our inventory of quality cars, all with great warranties or optional service plans. Plus, we'll work with your credit challenges to try and get you approved for financing. So you can stop saying if and start moving forward. Byrider. Buy, finance, drive on. Begin your online application today at byrider.com.
Time to remodel your kitchen or bathroom? Dreaming of granite, marble, quartz, or soapstone, and want quality workmanship, quick delivery, and competitive prices? Call Galetta Countertops today to schedule your professional consultation. Owner Jim Galetta will walk with you through your repair and remodel and guarantee to help you create the home of your dreams.
To exceed your expectations as your local fully licensed contractor, specializing in no job that is too small or too large. Champion Construction does roofing, siding,
Last
gutters,
commercial.
concrete,
Thanks, sir.
HVAC, plumbing, electric, flooring, painting, windows, and more. Whatever your needs, remember Champion Construction can do it all. Locally owned, state licensed, and insured for your protection. Champion Construction, 434-5203.
Proud sponsor of Southside football. Go Landon.
Welcome back as we look at tonight's keys to the ball game. I'm going to start with this, Philip. I'm going to throw some things out there, see if you agree with me on these. First of all, we talked about it, no turnovers.
No turnovers, and I think Little Rock Central is going to make us pay mightily if we do. With the speed they're going to put on the field, an experienced junior quarterback, a running back that ran for 800 yards last year, still on pace maybe for 1,000 this year. 2 6'5" tight ends. We need to keep the ball on our side of the field.
Offensively, as you just alluded to, control the football.
Control the football. Give the defense a chance to breathe when they get to come off the field. That's sometimes why those big plays happen is it takes a lot more energy to play defense than it does offense.
Finish.
Finish strong. in that red zone. Once we cross that 20, we should say this is Southside territory and we're going to take care of business.
Defensively, they've got to, obviously, the first key is stop the run. It's going to be power against power, their strength against our strength. We got to stop the run, eliminate the big play.
Yeah, and Coach Morton for Little Rock Central has got their offensive line really playing well, and it's going to come down to probably the line play tonight as to who goes out of here the winner.
And another one I'll throw out there is special teams. We saw how great the special teams were last week. Again, we need something big to happen on that side of the ball.
Hey, kicking teams, Jay Washington almost took one to the house on kickoff return. We kept wondering why Little Rock Central Little Rock Catholic wouldn't kick to him, and then they finally did, and he almost 90 yards later, he finally gave up the ghost.
Exactly what was funny about that play, too, Philip, was I think Southside realized that. They switched him from the right side over to the left side. They didn't catch that at first, and you're right, he almost took it to the house.
Yeah, and we've said there's nothing wrong with him on his kickoff returns. He's very fast. He waits for his holes to develop. And I think it's so important tonight, just not the punting team or the kicking team, but even the return teams have in their mind that this is easy touchdowns, and let's get these, get off the field, give it back to our defense, get the ball back.
Exactly. That's for the Chris Dooley Shelter Insurance pregame show. Be back with tonight's kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3. 2 minutes.
Mavericks pregame show on Spirit
Yes, sir.
106.3. Brought to you by Chris Dooley Shelter Insurance. Stand by. It's game time next.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Art's and get $1 off. Try Art's Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Art's burgers come with a mound of fresh cut fries, or upgrade to Art's homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Ark Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Ark Plumbing, 646-5151.
Your home for Southside Mavericks football. KZKZ, Greenwood, Fort Smith. Family-friendly radio. Spirit 106.3.
The office of Dr. Henry J. Udodge Jr. and Dr. Henry J. Udodge III at Udodge Orthodontics has been a respected provider in our orthodontic care community since 1972. The top priority of their practice is to provide you the highest quality orthodontic care in a fun, friendly, comfortable environment. They utilize the latest technological advances in the field
Yes.
of orthodontics to ensure that you
But I didn't write it down.
receive the best care possible. Udodge Orthodontics, 782-302.
I did, but I didn't write it down. I should have wrote it down.
Jewelry is something special, given to someone special. And at Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, we understand that you want
I think
the
if
very best
I remember right, it's the young man that was there last year, kind of shorter and stockier.
versus selling promotional quality items. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. If you can dream it, we can
It's a
make
fresh
it.
one.
Custom jewelry to repairs and watches.
Sam
all
Franklin,
services
maybe?
are done in
Sam
one
Franklin,
store.
that's it.
Cheshire's accepts all credit cards and offers 12-month same-as cash financing. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry for our customers and our friends.
The wait is over. It's game time on Spirit 106.3. This is Southside Mavericks football. Brought to you by Frank Rowe Furniture, the best seat in the house.
Welcome to Quigley Stadium, just about ready for kickoff as Little Rock Central won the toss, will receive the football to start the ball game. Going to get to see the Southside defense out early tonight. Your quarterback will be Lawson Gunn for the Tigers, running back Sam Franklin, and again, it's man-on-man, strength-on-strength to start the ball game.
Yeah, and what a historic place to play a game. And just talk about some of Little Rock Central's heritage. They actually have been awarded 2 national championships in their history, even going back to when they were Little Rock High School. 32 state championships and 44 conference championships. Southside, by comparison, we have 7 state championships Our last one was in 2006. So these are two storied programs going head-to-head.
And this is one of the best teams that Central had was back in 2003. Everybody talks about the Mitch Mustaine Springdale team. The Central team actually beat them in the semifinals, and they had a lot of good players. You had, I think it was Sam Bledsoe that played for the Hogs, Freddie Fairchild. It was a safety. I can't recall his name, but that defense is probably one of the best defenses there ever was in the state of Arkansas.
If memory serves me correct, Keith, Mitch Mustang actually broke his arm
yes,
that
he did.
night, and that was his last game of the season.
And again, Southside will kick the ball off. Again, a big game for the Mavs tonight. Need to win tonight to have a chance to make the playoffs. Obviously, if they lose tonight and Northside were to lose tonight, actually, I guess they still mathematically would have a chance next week, whether they win or lose tonight, if you start thinking about it. Well, no, you wouldn't. You would be eliminated because Cabot would have 2 wins. So,
well, this has a playoff sudden death feel to it, doesn't it?
And, I hate that when it comes down to trying to figure out the playoff. You go by points, you go by this or that. Let's just play some football and just figure it out later as Southside will kick off. Isaac Banda will do the kicking for the Mavs.
A little bit of a crowd that's came up from Fort Smith tonight. It's a cool, crisp night. And looking across to the nationally historic side of Little Rock Central High School.
Sam Franklin will be back deep along with Parker Perry, stand at their own 10-yard line. Here's a kick by Banda. It's going to be a short kick, going to be filled at the 25. He's at the 30, over across the 30 up to the 33-yard line, where he's brought down there by Southside. That is making the play for the Southside defense is Sam Sanders. Will be 1st and 10. They'll spot the ball at their own 33-yard line. Opening drive of the game for the Central Tigers.
I don't think that was a missed kick. I think that was planned all the way to keep it away from Little Rock Central's speed.
Southside going to go with 4 down linemen to start the ball game tonight. Again, they'll go with 1 safety, Dakota Wareheim. And if you had to have 1 safety back there, that's definitely who you'd want back there, would be Dakota Wareheim. Again, 1st and 10 as Lawson Gunn sets his team up. He'll have 1 back in the backfield. That is Jeremiah Sample. Here's a snap, a handoff to Sample off the left side. Has a big hole across the 40. Will be hit, dropped at the 41-yard line, where Dakota Wareheim makes the play for the Southside defense. Be a gain of 9 on the play, brings that 2nd down, 2nd and 1 for the Tigers.
Had a pulling guard on that play, and that guard really cleared the hole all the way up to the linebackers.
Here's a snap, handoff to Sample off the left side, has another hole, hits the 45 up to the 46-yard line, where he's driven down there making the play for the Southside defense. Is Zach Medlin. Will be 1st and 10 on the 2nd play from scrimmage for the Tigers.
Did a little better of keeping the ball in front of him on that play.
They'll actually spot him at the 46. They'll bring a man in motion. Here's a handoff to the motion man. He crosses midfield, is at the Southside 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Sam Franklin.
We've been talking about that same side, which would be the right side of the Southside defense. And again, we didn't set an edge. And when you don't set an edge, that just leaves a wide open highway.
And that's not how you wanted the game to start if you're the Mavs. Obviously, a 3-play, 68-yard drive for the score.
That play kind of had a sweep reverse feel to it, and I think we got caught looking the other way.
The ball is down, the kick is up. Kick is good. 11:16 to go here in the first quarter. Central leads Southside 7-zip. Be back with the Tiger kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football. Sprint 106.3. Go ahead and do just do one for right now.
One commercial?
Yes, sir.
Or 1 minute?
One commercial.
Okay.
Like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, tin layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half price. Watch every home game at Joe's. Half price apps during every home game at Joe's. 3400 South 74th Street across from Hart.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
A 3-play, 68-yard touchdown drive for Little Rock Central on their opening drive. A 54-yard touchdown run by Sam Franklin on a misdirection play around the left side. Southside trails 7-zip. They'll have their first possession here of the ball game as Little Rock Central will kick the ball off with Keeling Baker doing the kicking. Back deep for Southside will be Jay Washington along with Connor Austin.
You know, this is where we got to come back and answer, Keith, and get the ball game back where we can take care of business.
It's not not the start you wanted by any means, and the first thing we had mentioned was eliminate the big play. 3 plays in.
Big play.
Big play. They don't listen to us.
No.
Here's a kick by Baker. It's going to be a good kick that's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. Baker kicked last year for Central, did a very good job with his kicking, and he showed right there he's got a strong legs that goes 3 yards in the end zone.
Yeah, and that was in high school football. Once it crosses the plane of the goal line, the ball is dead, and it would come out to the 20.
That's where Southside will start the only drive of the night. And, again, it's very imperative for the Mavs to get something going early. And they're going to start a different lineup tonight as Kel Sheets will be in the lineup, split out to the left side. Also, Blaine Stotts out there in a stack formation to the right. Here's a handoff to Jay Washington. Will fight his way up for maybe 2 yards. Ball on the ground, and let's see.
Central says they have it, and
Central
they do.
Does. The 2 things we said couldn't happen tonight.
Yeah.
That was the other was the turnover, and Southside really haven't even played a minute yet, and they're digging a big hole early.
Yeah, this is where the defense has got to step up here and keep them out of the end zone and really reestablish the way this game is going to go. Sometimes a game can get away from you very quickly, and I hope we're not witnessing that here tonight.
Not looking good so far. It'll be 1st and 10 after the turnover at the Southside 21-yard line. Lawson Gunn brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. He'll have Jeremiah Sample in the backfield along with Omari Murdoch. Now Sample will go back behind his quarterback Gunn. He brings a man in motion. Here's a snap to Gunn. Wants to throw the football. Throws the ball to a wide open receiver. Incomplete. Had him open for the touchdown intended for Johnny White. Ball goes incomplete.
Yeah, and that's really where that zero look or that one safety look maybe can get you in a little trouble because he's got to play that entire center field back there by himself.
Central didn't come out really trying to just play smash mouth football. They've really done a good job of mixing the misdirection in, and it really had some really good looks.
Good play calling.
Actually, that was Omari Murdoch, the intended receiver. Here's a handoff. The running back Sample has a big hole. Will get up to the 15-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play.
I think where he was supposed to go, Southside had it defended. He did a little jump cut and kind of cut back across the grain. Once he did that, he had a little more room to maneuver.
Now, quick formation here. Here's a handoff to the running back off the side. He's going to get inside. That's Franklin inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal at that point.
So far this series is not going Southside's way, and we really got to stiffen up, especially on that right side of our defense.
I wonder if we're getting a different look out there too, Phillip. They're doing a lot of misdirection, end-around plays. Here's a handoff to Franklin. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. Will try to drive his way forward. Maybe 1 yard of the play brings it 2nd down, 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was a play where they were testing that edge again, and Southside stepped up that time.
Be 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line, as now we've got officials hold on the play of Southside. Maybe an equipment timeout as one of the Mavs comes running off on to the sideline.
It's either equipment or blood. If there's blood visible, I think they're supposed to come out of the game.
I believe that was Sanders. Yeah, that was Caleb Sanders coming out and checking in the ball game for Southside. I believe that's 56, Evan McCormick, sophomore linebacker, another sophomore in the game for the Mavs.
That should be a false start. Timeout.
Then we've got a timeout by Southside, and with that timeout, we'll take 1, 2. This is Southside Maverick Football, Sprint 106.3.
Wheeler Power
1 minute.
is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick
Yes, sir.
Football. Just like the professional educators, Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has served Fort Smith since the 1960s. Been the Fort Smith's only factory authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Honda, and now the Miami Rockstar brand. That's important quality, signing reputable brands all under one roof. Visit them online at WheelerPowersports.com, on Facebook, or at 901 North 11th Street, historic downtown. Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride. Hello, radio listener. Are you enjoying the football game tonight? How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly beneficial swirling waters of your own hot spring spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun, and a great end to an exhilarating football game. So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121 South Zero to check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
106.3.
Welcome back to action. It's going to be a false start by Little Rock Central on the play. We'll move it back 5 yards. Those 5 yards you wouldn't on the previous play, Philip, but Southside took a timeout before the penalty.
I think the false start is actually on their quarterback. He did that right before the timeout, and he's lifting himself up without the ball, and that is a false start and can be called on him.
Yeah, what they're trying to do, they're trying to really speed the game up. Here's a quick slant pass out complete. He's at the 10-yard line. He's at the 5-yard line. We're getting the end zone touchdown. That is Ty Pennington, the senior wide receiver, on the touchdown. And again, Southside a bit slow getting out. That was nothing that we didn't expect to happen right there.
We talked about that earlier, about how they're going to try and extend their running game by using the short pass. And that was just one. He just stood up. They threw it that way. He could operate in space.
As Baker checks in for the extra point, 12-yard touchdown pass. Ball is down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 9:55 to go here in the first quarter. Southside trails 14-zip. Be back with the Central kickoff after this. This is Southside Matter of Football on Spirit 106.3. Just one commercial.
Yes, sir.
It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Arc Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Arc Plumbing, 646-5151.
Back to the stadium and more Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back. That was a 4-play, 21-yard drive for the Central Tigers, following the Southside fumble, a 12-yard touchdown pass from Lawson Gunn to T.J. Pennington for the touchdown. The Tigers will kick off the Southside. Phillip, as we talked about, and we harped on the keys to the ball game: no big plays, no turnovers. First two possessions of the game on either side, a 54-yard run by Central, the big play, and then a fumble by Jay Washington, turnover. We're down 14-zip, barely 2 minutes into the ball game. Here's the kick. It's going to be going about 3 yards deep in the end zone again. Southside will start their 20-yard line. And how big of a weapon is it? Give credit to this kicker. Keeling Baker is doing a great job. 2 kickoffs tonight, both in the end zone. That's a weapon.
Absolutely, because there's no return, and you know anything can happen on a return. Like we talked about, Jay Washington last week got that 90-yard return. They certainly don't want to give up easy points, and they're going to make us earn everything that we're after.
Again, Southside needs to answer. Here's interesting formations. They'll have Dimitri Lloyd, the tight end, split out, and they'll come back into a tight formation, lines up at his tight end position. Weehunt calls out signals, takes a snap. Here's a handoff to Washington. Will be hit and dropped. He tried to cut it back inside, not much there. Leading the charge for the defense is Antonio Westbrook. Brings up second down, 2nd and 9 for the Mavs.
Yeah, we're still testing that middle. Even when he lost the ball on the other possession, it was right up that gut. So we're trying to stay in that A gap, either side of the center. If you could think about that at home, is where Southside likes to play.
Southside playing some different receivers tonight. Kel Sheets along with Blaine Stotts. Stotts actually the backup quarterback for the Mavs. Now man in motion, Jake Tyler, a handoff again to Washington. Going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that's a pretty good hit for the Tigers. That is Dylan Moore, the outside linebacker, brings up 3rd down, 3rd. No, lose a yard on play, 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Mavs.
I believe he read that all the way, and he probably figured this is where it's going to go. Washington's still trying to stay in that A gap. He was there to fill it.
Jackson Morowski will check in for Nathan Bogner. Southside will go with 4 wide receivers, including a trip set to the right of Weehunt. Again, a big 3rd down for the Mavs, 3rd and 10. A roll to the right by Weehunt. Looks down the field, throws the ball down the field. It's going to be complete. That's Kel Sheets on the catch at the 36-yard line. What a big play for the Mavs. Got to have those first downs.
It reminded me a little bit from the Bobby Petrino playbook. You remember how he would kind of tier stack receivers on one side, and even the other night watching the Kansas City game, they were doing that and just saying you're going to have to flood this side and defend it.
1st and 10 for the Mavs. Here's a snap, a quick pass out complete. That is Jake Tyler, crosses the 40 at the 45. Will step out of bounds. Let's see where they'll spot him right at about the 40-yard line. Be a gain of 4 on the play. Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 6 for the Mavs.
How important it is to keep the rhythm going. And, you know, if we look back at Central's season, they've been a first quarter team. They like to jump out on somebody early. So we just got to stay the course, not let go of the rope, keep with our game plan, control the ball, and finish when we get to the other end.
And don't let it get too far out of hand again, down 14-zip early in the ball game. Here's a snap to Wehunt. A quick pass complete to Tyler. He will fight forward, maybe for about 2 yards. Got a block by Bogner over there. The defender, I believe that was Westbrook, had a chance to make the play. Bogner knocks him away from it. They gave him a yard on the play, brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 6 for the Mavs.
So important here. We got to keep this drive alive, and we got to keep going. We certainly don't want to give the ball back to Central at this juncture of the game.
You're exactly right. A big play. Last time they went to Kel Sheets. Sheets getting a lot of playing time. We saw him last week with 2 big catches for the Mavs. Got some young receivers, Jackson Morowski along with Kel Sheets, that will be big contributors next year. Here's a snap to Wehunt. Has all day to throw the ball. Looks down the field. Will throw the ball. It's going to be one hopped, incomplete. Intended for Jake Tyler at the Central 39-yard line. Will bring up 4th down for the Mavs. They'll have to punt the ball away.
Tyler was looking there on that crossing pattern, and he was open all the way across the field. It's hard for Wehunt sometimes maybe to always see that. Easy for me up here at my vantage point. But I think it's important that we got to hit these guys when they're open and give them a chance to make some yards after the catch.
Adam Puckett will check in to punt the ball away for the Mavs. Stands back his own 28-yard line. Here's the snap. It's a good snap. Here's the punt. It's a low-line drop punt, going to be fair caught at the Central 24-yard line. And dare I say early that 7:33 to go here. Southside trails 14-zip. Defense needs to step up big time on this series.
This is one that needs to be 4 and out for Central here, because we don't want them past that 50-yard line.
It's time to settle down and play some football. Southside getting off to it's a cold night tonight, and Southside came in cold early, and now it's time to warm up and get it going.
Even you said, Keith, takes you a quarter or 2 to warm up.
Exactly. Again, 1st and 10. Sample in the backfield along with the quarterback, Gunn. Gunn takes a snap, hands it off to Sample. Going to be hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
That play kind of fell apart on them because they were wanting to pull the guard and the tackle from the weak side. The guard made it over there, but the tackle wasn't even close. Southside was already on top of it.
That was Jack Hannon along with Landon Chafee and Leighton Johnson making the play for the Southside defense. Gunn wants to throw the ball complete at the 30-yard line to Murdoch. Is going to reach forward to the 32-yard line, going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 2 for the Central Tigers.
Yeah, I think our corners need to have a little more confidence and press a little more on these big athletic receivers.
Here's a handoff to Sample. He is going to be hit, but will fall forward for the 1st down.
I think he's short.
Going to be close as Leighton Johnson gets
about
off the pile for Southside, along with Sam Sanders.
4th down. They're going to go for it.
And here's a quarterback keeper. I don't think he did either.
Nope, he didn't get it. They're giving him a generous spot, but I still think he's short.
A little slow blowing the whistle on the play. Good job. Good job by Sean Rogers, Jeremiah Van Hook.
I think that was
Jack
a big
Hannon.
stand right there, Keith.
There's Jack Hannon getting off the bottom of the pile. And where they spotted the ball, it's going to be close.
Nope,
Southside
ball. How about that? Keith, and that was a situation there. You saw Southside players even below the ball. And that's what you want to do on that quarterback sneak, is you want to make a pile that he can't get across. They did exactly playbook there what they should have.
Would you have gone for it?
I don't think I would have, but we hadn't been able to stop him yet. So here we are, and it's our ball in a good spot to have it inside the 35.
This is where the offense has to step up. Last week we had a really good punt return by Connor Austin. Didn't take advantage of it. Got to do it here. Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs as Josh Hannon splits out wide, the stack formation. Here's a handoff to a keeper by Wehunt. Crosses the 25, inside the 25, down to the 22-yard line. And
beautiful fake.
Philip, that was a play that they really worked on earlier. You were talking about running that ball up the middle. They run it up the middle. This time they feed off of that, fake it to Washington, take it outside for the 1st down.
Almost a bootleg, but not in the sense of going the other way, but in the sense of staying with the flow of the game.
Be 1st and 10. They'll spot the ball at the Central 22-yard line. Again, Southside goes trip set wide side of the field. Interesting formation with Nathan Bogner working in the slot. Now he comes in motion. They'll go strong left with Dimitri Lloyd and Nathan Bogner. A handoff to Washington off that side tries to push it outside. Is going to get the corner at the 20. Will be hit and knocked out of bounds just inside the 18-yard line. Actually, they're going to spot him at
about the 19.
19, and
that wasn't what we saw, though, was it?
No, actually, they're going to break it back up to the 18.
All right.
Yes, so it'll be second down, second and 6.
Well, the air's clear here tonight. They probably heard you, Keith.
What was the excuse last week?
I don't know. The air was thick and foggy.
It'll be second down, second and 6 for the Mavs. Good job by Washington. I was a little concerned when he tried to bounce that outside because you're dealing with a lot of speed over there.
Yeah,
but Washington gets the corner.
He got the edge.
Again, second down, second and 6 for the Mavs as Bogner goes in motion to snap to Weehunt. Weehunt hands it off to Washington. Will fight his way inside the 15. A good initial charge. Marlon Briggs, Alvin Trong.
Nothing wrong with that. This is 4-down territory, Keith. We're not walking away from here. We're not going to try a field goal. This is lay it all on the line. Let's push it forward.
I don't think we've tried a field goal all year.
I don't think we have, and I think that maybe is one of our weaknesses this year.
Be third down, third and 2 for the Mavs. Again, you got to get points here as they will go with Jake Tyler in the slot. Josh Hannon on the outside. Strong left this time with Bogner lined up over the left guard. Washington in the backfield. Here's a snap. A handoff to Washington. Has a hole. Will get a first down. Be first and goal at the 9-yard line.
Beautiful pulling guard on that play. The weak side guard created that hole just enough for Washington to skid through. I think it's important for all of us to remember Jay Washington only weighs about 140 pounds, and that's a lot to stick inside all of that mass there.
We really saw that against, I believe it was North Little Rock, when he was what should have been a penalty, 4 or 5 yards out of bounds. He gets slammed to the ground, so he's not really going to have a lot of a push out there being 140 pounds. But what a good job so far by the offensive line on this drive. Be first and goal at the 9-yard line. Southside goes strong left this time. Here's the snap, and we've got a flag on the play.
Legal shift. I don't know what. Oh, they're going to say false start. That was strange, though, because we'd already started when they called a false start, so I never did see it.
Southside doesn't need that. We can't afford the little 5-yard penalties because we're a team that really 3-4 yards at a pop. You get that one penalty, just really messes up the flow.
Well, you know, first and goal, and now you're back at the 14, so it's first and 14 is what it amounts to.
As Weehunt looks to the sidelines to get the play, 4:18 to go here in the first quarter. Southside trails 14-zip. Had a nice defensive stand, took the ball over to the 34-yard line of Central. Here's a keeper by Weehunt and never had a chance. Not sure Weehunt was looking for a read or what he was doing, but really.
I think it was the same play we'd run earlier, kind of the stand-up bootleg that continues with the flow of the play, and they read it that time is what happened. It just kind of collapsed on them because you're leaving that side a little bit naked to sell out that you're faking to Washington. But that time the linebacker stayed home.
They'll be bringing up second and goal. They'll spot the ball just outside the Central 15-yard line. Again, a big series here for Southside. 3:39 to go here in the first quarter. Southside trails 14-zip early. Southside will go with 2 backs in the backfield. Bogner along with Washington. 2 receivers split out with Tyler in the slot. Here's a quick slant pass over the middle intended for Tyler, who was open momentarily, but the ball is thrown behind him, incomplete.
I think that was kind of one of those throws like we've criticized Markle for making, where your foot is facing one place where the receiver was, not where he is. I think he still had a chance if he'd hit him in the numbers.
Yeah, you're right. He looks like to me he's really struggling with his footwork tonight. We saw it on an underthrow earlier in the ball game. Had plenty of time to throw the football, but rolled out to his left, had his feet moving, and one-hopped it to his receiver, Jake Tyler. Again, 3rd and goal for the Mavs at the 16-yard line. Here's a snap to Weehunt. Wants to throw the ball. Here comes the heat. There's going to be a hit and drop back to the 22-yard line.
Well, you know, you always teach quarterbacks, step up in that pocket, trust the pocket. When he stepped up, he was met there by black and gold.
One thing I did notice is big old Marlon Briggs actually pancaked his guy on the side. It was a big play, but no chance there at all. Southside going backwards, and with this defense playing the way they are, and you know you can pin your ears back on 3rd down, 3rd and 16. That's exactly what they did. And
yeah,
you know, maybe try to hit him with a screen or something, or some kind of a quick slant is your best chance. Against Southside goes trip set wide side of the field, one back in the backfield. It'll be 4th down, 4th and goal from the 22-yard line. Really not much of a choice for the Mavs here. They don't have much of a kicking game, so have to go for it here on 4th and 22.
Be close to a 40-yarder anyway.
Here's a snap, too. We Hunt will throw the ball, looks
Take
down
off.
the field, has time to throw the ball, throws the ball to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
He's
It's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Jake
Standing
Tyler.
on the wide. The end zone is colored black. The out zone is white, and he was standing clearly on the white. I think he just lost track of where he was because he was open.
Another mistake for Southside offensively. You're right. Jake Tyler was open, but he was.
Even from here, we could make that call. So
It's not always been that way this year.
No, but that's
Yeah.
very clear. The black and the white in the end zone is very stark.
Well, the defense needs to step up again. And again, we've seen everything we've talked about tonight. You got to finish. That's 3 of the things we've seen. Here's a quick pass out, complete.
Good
Going to be hit.
defense.
And what a good job by Southside. As they get the ball out, that's Landon Chafee along with Dakota Wareheim for a 2-yard loss. Brings up second down, 2nd and 12 for the Tigers.
It was a good read by the linebacker core.
Defense kind of starting to settle in just a bit here, as got a stop on the previous series. Again, now it's second down, 2nd and 12. As
They move everybody when they shift, don't they?
that was, I never seen much of
That
that.
should have
Somebody
been a
hitched on that.
penalty.
Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
a penalty. As they're going to try a screenplay to
We
Franklin.
had people moving when the ball was snapped. We didn't, I'm sorry. Little Rock Central did.
Philip, what they're doing too, I think they really kind of changed their offense a bit. They've really tried to pick it up some. And what's happening is I don't think they're used to playing this way, and it's really cost them. We saw it earlier. It didn't hurt them because they ended up getting the touchdown anyway, but they've had 2 procedure penalties really caused by trying to hurry up.
Yeah, and you always want that defense on their heels and not comfortable with your tempo and your cadence. Let's see how it goes from here.
Here's a snap to gun, rolls to his left. Here comes the heat from the outside. Will throw the ball. It's going to be complete.
That is a tough throw to make going opposite of your throwing arm.
Be at the 28-yard line. Will be about 4 yards short of the first down.
My hat's off to him there. There's not a lot of high school quarterbacks could make that throw.
It's hoping Southside on that play, they were getting the pressure on him, maybe force a bad pass, maybe get an INT on that. But you're right, Lawson Gunn does a good job with the throw. Here's a keeper by Gunn up the middle. They're going to be hit and dropped. What a great job by the Southside defense. Gets another hold as Landon Chafee gets off the bottom of the pile along with Leighton Johnson, and looks like Jack Hannon. Jack Hannon really playing good here the last 2 weeks.
He absolutely is, and he really controlled that middle there, and it never had a chance of developing. Brings up 4th down. They're going to have to kick.
Keeling Baker will punt the ball away. Checking in for Southside to return the punt will be Connor Austin. Stands back at his 39-yard line.
This is what we talked about. Special teams going to have to pick us up.
Here's a high snap and gets the kickoff, and it's going to take a central bounce. We'll go out of bounds and see where they're going to spot the ball at, as he's going to get across the 30, 35. Not a very good kick for Baker, as he's still walking up. We'll spot the ball at the Southside 45-yard line.
Not bad starting field possession. Not as good as what we had before, but still we can't argue with that, and it's time for Southside's offense to continue.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs, and again, we've talked about it. The 3 things that couldn't be done were turnovers. We had a turnover, big play. We've had a big play, and you got to finish. We didn't
Equals
finish.
14 points, doesn't it? And that's sitting there
Well,
with 14.
actually 21 points if you really think about it. Yeah. Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs at their own 45-yard line. Again, Washington in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Washington. We'll get positive yardage, maybe 2 yards. Looked like there was going to be a good hole there, but closed up quickly by the Central defense making the play. I believe that was number 52, Evan Marbley, on the play. Defensively will bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 8 for the Mavs.
You know, you'd think that play action pass would be a little more open now that we've showed we want to run in that A gap. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a play action here directly.
Hunt calls out signals, now brings a man in motion. Here's a handoff again to Washington. Ducks his head, will get maybe a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 7 for the Mavs.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 is hard to deal with sometimes, especially with the trouble we've had passing.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. At the end of one quarter, Southside trails 14. Zip be back with the start of the second quarter after this. It's the Southside Beverett Football on Spirit 106.3. About 1 minute.
Does this sound like you?
Yes, sir.
Or maybe your inner biker sounds like it.
Do what? Oh.
Shelter insures your fun stuff. Motorcycles to riding mowers, ATVs to RVs, bikes to bass boats. If it rides, rolls, or floats, we can cover it. Shelter Insurance. We're your shore. We're your shelter. Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley found a free auto insurance review.
Wanting a fresh feel, look, or decor for your home or space? Wasted Repurpose Marketplace has your specific look to fit your budget and your personality. Handpicked, vintage, antique, farmhouse, and so much more decor will have your visions becoming reality. Wasted also has it all for your fall, home, and holiday decorating. Voted a Best of the Best finalist for 3 years in a row. Shop at Wasted, 1520 Towson Avenue, or find them on Facebook. Wasted Repurpose Marketplace, 1520 Towson Avenue.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back as we start the second quarter. It's 14-zip Central, third down for Southside. Here's the screen play. It's going to be intercepted.
Don't believe it ever had a chance of developing. Certainly not what we wanted there, Keith. A turnover right in a pivotal drive that we really needed.
That was Johnny Brooks, the fourth, who made the play. He just stepped in. There were several Mavs. It actually wasn't set up that bad, but nobody blocked him on the play. He just stepped in and made the catch.
Yeah. As long as the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, you can downfield block. And they just kind of let him go.
The first and 10 at the Southside 47-yard line. Here's a quick pass from Gunn out to his receiver, complete. That's Murdoch. Gets inside the 45-yard line down to the 44-yard line to gain a 3 on the play. Murdoch's a good receiver, a good smart receiver in the fact that when he goes down, he lunges forward with that arm, tries to get that extra yard.
He's probably about 6'2", 6'3", and he can really stretch it out.
Yeah, they could actually 6'6".
I'm sorry.
Yeah, here's a handoff, and he's a sophomore, and Southside does a good job as Sean Rogers makes the play for the Southside defense. Will bring up third down, 3rd and 6.
Well, so far we've taken away the big play. Southside's made a couple of good stands here on defense, and we need another one here.
Gunn calls out signals, has Franklin in the backfield. Southside jumps in the neutral zone. That'll make it third down, 3rd and 1.
Gonna be close.
Should be short of the first down, but hey, you're in 4-down territory. If Central's going to go for it on their own 34-yard line, they'll definitely go for it here, as they will be short about a yard.
Maybe a half a yard. It's awful close.
That's so frustrating. We saw that last week. Catholic probably not going to run a play, and now we've got a whistle on the play.
They gave him the first down?
That's
how did they give him the first down?
Is there an Arkansas rule where you can't measure anymore? That was not a first down. Here's a snap to Gunn. Not sure that it mattered anyway. He's going to throw the ball deep down the field. There's Chase Rayner on the coverage. Going to be a
flag.
Pass interference penalty on Rayner. Rayner really didn't turn around. Had pretty good coverage over there, but going to be a 15-yard penalty on the Mavs.
Yeah, now we have a situation where they gave him a first down, Keith, but it's looking at the chains, it's 1st and 11. How did they do that? I think there's a lot of confusion, even with the referee crew here, on what's going on.
We've not seen, no comment. It'll be 1st and 10. But it didn't really matter one way or the other because 3rd and half a yard. Of course, Southside actually held them the previous series, but
I'm not sure how they came up with that was a first down, but
it wasn't. We haven't seen a measurement all year, which is incredible. You should have some. In that Catholic game, definitely last week, there was 4 or 5 times that I couldn't tell if it was a first down or not, but they've got better eyes than I do, so it is first down. So
don't sell yourself short. You called him out of bounds up here earlier.
Here's a snap to Gunn. We'll hand it off to Sample. Sample will fight his way down to the Southside 20-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play. We're bringing up 2nd down, 2nd and 8 for the Tigers. 10:49 to go here in the second quarter. Southside trails 14-zip.
Yeah, I think on that last 5-yard penalty, somehow they had in their head automatic first down. This is so important here for Southside defense, not to worry about the things you can't control, like we're worrying about them and talking about them. Just play the game, do what you do, and good things will happen.
Be 2nd down, 2nd and 8. Gunn takes a snap, wants to throw the ball. Will throw the ball deep down the field to his receiver. Going to be incomplete. Good coverage. Give credit to Chase Rain. I know he had a interference penalty on the previous play, but he's going one-on-one. And he's going up against a kid, Omari Murdoch, a sophomore, 6'6", and Raina's doing a great job of using the sideline as his friend.
Yeah, and give credit to Sean Rogers there. He actually made the Little Rock Central quarterback hurry.
Gunn rolls to his left, wants to throw the ball. Here comes the heat. Throws the ball, going to be complete to his receiver. Should have a first down. Southside,
I believe it's going to be short.
That's going to be Medlin along with Angel Hernandez makes the play. Yeah, it will be short. They'll spot him at the 13-yard line. Will be third down, 3rd and 1. But what the Mavs have got to do, they're giving too much respect to the receivers. Got to come up.
That should be 4th down, Keith.
Be 4th down, 4th and 1 as Gunn looks at the sideline. They may try to draw him off sides.
It worked last time, didn't it?
Sam Franklin will be in the backfield. We are down to 23 seconds, and we're going to have a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one, too. So Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. 1 minute.
Cherry Berry self-serve frozen yogurt offers 50 rotating healthy flavors and 100 toppings. Simply grab a
It's beyond me.
start swirling. Add toppings ranging from granola, cereals, and fresh fruits to all kinds of candies, sprinkles, and even a variety of nuts and syrups. After the creation is complete, weigh and pay by the ounce. At Cherry Berry, the possibilities are endless as you have complete control.
Cherry Berry. Smith the Million.
For over 25 years, Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky has been offering their mouth-watering beef jerky with a variety of spices and flavors. Spend $20 at the store in Shady Point and get a free $5 bag. Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky is also available online at halshomemadebeefjerky.com or just call Hal at 918-635-5759.
Hal's Beef Jerky is the place you gotta go.
Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky in Shady Point, Oklahoma.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
Keeling Baker will try a 30-yard field goal. Ball is down. Kick is up.
I don't think he got it. I guess he did.
Yes, he did. 9:34 to go here. Southside now trails 17-zip. Be back with a Central kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Just one commercial.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was to the left. I think it's left. Welcome back. Following the interception, that was a 6-play drive for Little Rock Central, a 30-yard field goal by Keeling Baker. The Tigers now lead 17-zip. 10 points off turnovers, one big play. Need something good to happen here before the half.
That equals 17 points, doesn't it? But a good job by the Southside defense. They didn't give up 6.
After the first series, the Southside defense is really –
they've gotten stingy.
They've played pretty good. They gave up the 21-yard touchdown drive, but it's been the turnovers on the offense that has really hurt the Mavs tonight. Obviously 10 points on turnovers, and then when Southside gave them great field position, they couldn't do anything with it. So really, offense needs to kind of pick it up if Southside's going to win tonight. As Baker will kick off for the Mavs. Here's a kick. It's going to be a kick that can be returned. That's Connor Austin at the 5. He's at the 10, 15, cuts it inside to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. That's where Southside will start this drive with their 21-yard line. I had to laugh, Philip. I watched, they had a big lineman coming in, rushing on the field. He was actually the deep snapper on the kick, and I've got to give the guy credit because he had to be gassed time he got in there.
It took him a while to get out there, but when he did a very effective snap.
Be first and 10 for the Mavs. They'll start this drive at their 21-yard line. They'll go with 2 backs in the backfield. Bogner along with Jay Washington. Southside will go strong right as they bring Dimitri Lloyd in motion from left to right. Here's the snap, a handoff to Washington. Cuts it back inside across the 25. A good run by Washington up to the 27-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. Brings up second down, 2nd and 4 for the Mavs.
I think that was actually a design counter, Keith. You had the entire offensive line going to their right. Play was designed to the left, and good vision by Washington.
Washington may be hurt as he goes to the sidelines. Jack Clark will check in the ball game. Here's a snap. A quick pass going to be caught by Jake Tyler, and that ball was a lead pass. It was supposed to be further back behind the line of scrimmage. The ball goes forward, and Southside lucky there. The defender over there, I believe that was Logan Heyman, actually cut in, had a chance to make an INT on the errant throw, but fortunately for Southside, Tyler catches the ball. Unfortunately, it's no gain.
Yeah, his knee was down, so the minute he caught it, it was a dead ball.
Actually lost a yard on the play to bring up third down, 3rd and 5 for the Mavs. Again, Clark in the backfield with Bogner. Now Bogner goes in motion. Here's a snap to Weehunt, wants to throw the football, looks down the field, has all day to throw, throws the ball, going to be complete for the first down. That is Jake Tyler. Tyler really has stepped up and been
had a big game.
His
so
safety
far.
blanket.
All he's doing is he's finding those holes out there. He's sitting down. He's establishing position, and been open most of the night.
The offensive line, for the most part, really has done a pretty good job of giving Weehunt time to throw the football.
Yeah, and they're dropping back. They're only bringing about a 3-man rush, so that they're daring us to throw the ball.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs at their own 34-yard line. This will be the 4th play of the drive. They trail 17-zip here in the second quarter. Handoff to Jack Clark. Will fight his way across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 7.
Nothing wrong with that. Get another 3 yards, and you're in a very manageable 3rd down situation and keeping the game going in your favor.
Southside going with a lot of 3-4 receiver sets as they'll check Kel Sheets in the ball game for Nathan Bogner. Again, 2nd down, 2nd and 7. Here's a snap, a handoff off the right side. That's Clark, has an open hole, and he's tripped up on the play. Crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line.
So far, he's sticking with the formula, Keith, but one shoestring away from breaking that one for 6.
Exactly. They get a big 3rd down for Southside. Got to get some points here. Started this drive their own 21-yard line. This will be the 6th play of the drive. Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 4 at the 41-yard line. And that's kind of been Southside's season right there. Jack Clark, one step away, gets just barely tripped up, or it's a big gain. Here's a handoff to Washington off the left side. Is going to get across the 45-yard line. Should have a Southside 1st down.
Yeah, we're kind of stretching the field now, and I don't think Central likes this one bit. They want us to stay up there in the middle. Not that we're going to leave the middle alone, but we're adding just a few wrinkles, keeping them honest.
And again, Marlon Briggs doing a good job of really getting those holes going. They've got some big guys out there, and they play a lot of sophomores too. They've got Jaden Brooks, a sophomore, 5'9", 220 pounds. And now we've got looks like a penalty on the play. It's going to bring it even 15 more yards up, but it's going to be a personal foul on Little Rock Central. Will spot the ball at the 39-yard line.
Well, Briggs is going against sometimes number 55, 325 pounds, Jordan Banks. That is a load. Wouldn't it be nice here, Keith, to finish this one off, get the game back going our way?
You've got to, with what all has happened here in the first half, with the turnovers, 2 turnovers, a couple of big plays. Your defense really starting to settle down, playing some ball. Get some points here. You got to feel pretty good going into half. Here's a handoff to Jack Clark. Not much there. He's going to be pulled back. We'll get maybe, let's call it back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs.
You know, a lot of times Southside takes criticism why you just keep running in the middle, but the middle is what sets up the rest of our offense. So we have to keep that honest and keep that going forward.
They'll bring up second down. They'll actually give him, they'll spot the 39-yard line. Give him maybe half a yard on the play. Weehunt calls out signals, has 2 receivers split wide side of the field. Here's a snap. Here's looking for the pass. Throws the ball complete to Josh Hannon, who's going to be tackled at the 33-yard line. Be a gain of 6 on the play. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Mavs.
Yeah, he picked Hannon, but Tyler was open even before him. So I know he looked at him, he thought about it, and he decided to stay with the safe play, which that's fine.
If I'm Southside, I'm going to be looking here because so far, really, our receivers have done a good job of getting open. It's a lot of man coverage. Their initial thing that they want to do defensively is to stop the run. That's what Central wants to do. So they really kind of load the box up. You've got man coverage again here on the outside. The Southside will go with a stack formation on that side. Hunt calls out signals. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff. That is Clark.
Gonna be close.
And there's Marlon Briggs. I would like to know how many pancakes he eats in a night.
Well, I don't know, but we may have to start calling him the International House of Pancakes.
We need that guy that gave him a first down on the previous one maybe to give us a first down, as they'll spot him just about half a yard short.
And it looks like they're going to leave Clark still in the backfield.
We haven't seen a lot of Washington. Washington went out, was actually holding his back. I think he may be okay, maybe have a stinger, but he's not really been in much since then, as they'll go with a stack formation. And now we've got a whistle on the play.
Timeout.
We've got a timeout by Central. With that, we'll take 1-2. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3. 1 minute.
It's not going to
Yes, sir.
stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Arc Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Arc Plumbing. 646-5151.
Jewelry is something special, given to someone special. And at Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, we understand that you want the very best for your money. We only use the finest quality diamonds and gemstones versus selling promotional quality items. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. If you can dream it, we can make it. From custom jewelry to repairs and watches, all services are done in our store. Cheshire's accepts all credit cards and offers 12-month same-as-cash financing. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Here's a snap, a handoff to Jack Clark. Should have the first down. They'll spot him inside the 30-yard line down to the 29-yard line.
Great play there, just doing what we do best. We needed that. Now we've got a fresh set of downs.
Again, Southside trails 17 zip, 4:04 to go here in the first half. And you're right, Philip, as far as what Southside's doing. This has been a really nice drive. If you get those points, that confidence level is going to go sky high coming into the second half, and Southside will get the ball to start the second half.
Central is not a second-half team. They do most of their scoring in the first half.
There's a keeper by Hunt. He's going to be
He's still
spun
alive.
back. He gets away. He's going to be hit and drop at about the 27. Actually, I'll spot him back at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, I think maybe the far side over there is giving him a little bit more. We've got a player down. I believe it's a Central player.
Yeah, he's getting up on the play. So
He's still going to have to report out because the referee actually called timeout. No, he's going to go ahead and let him stay in.
no, he's going to the sidelines
Okay.
now. Yeah, I think that was Johnny Brooks, the fourth, who was hurt on the play. It'll be second down, 2nd and 9.
Great job by Hunt keeping that play alive.
2nd 9 at the 28-yard line. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Washington back in the ball game. Going to be submarined at the 28-yard line. Gain of maybe half a yard. Again, it'll bring up third down,
I
3rd
wouldn't be
and 9
surprised.
for the Mavs.
I wouldn't be surprised if Washington wasn't hurt on that play. You had one guy holding him up top. The other guy went straight for his ankles. He is limping as he comes off the sidelines.
Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 9, 2:53 to go here before the half. Southside trail 17 zip. Imperative, they've got to finish this drive. This will be the 11th play of the drive. Been a really nice drive for the Mavs. Pretty much taken up the bulk of the second quarter. Good job again by the defense the previous 2 series for the Mavs. Here's a snap to Hunt. Looks to throw the ball. He rolls to his right. Has an open field. Will tuck it and run at the 25. He's at the down close to the 20-yard line. Will be hit and dropped there. They'll spot him at the 21-yard line. Be a gain of 6 on the play. Brings up it'll be 4th down, 4th and about 3 for the Mavs. Philip, what I've noticed about Little Rock Central is it looked like Hunt had a lot of open field, but they closed quick with speed.
They close quickly, and you hate to see him standing up like that, being our quarterback. You'd rather see kind of get down and do a slide. But he held his ground and probably got a couple extra yards for his efforts.
If I'm here at the Mavs, I'm not sure I don't go ahead and take a timeout here and just make sure you've got the right play call in here again. 4th down, 4th and 3. Here's a snap, a roll up by Wehunt. He's being pressured, looks to throw the ball, still looks to throw the ball, will throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete.
No, they called it complete, but I don't think it's enough for a first down.
Oh, he's way behind the first down sticks.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous play, and I think Wehunt is maybe getting up slow on the far side. He's getting up real slow now, Keith. It may be an ankle.
Yeah, he's not getting off the field very quick. But I still think you got to take a timeout there, Philip. I think you've got to discuss. That was a big play in the game right there.
Yeah,
you got to have the right call. And
had an awkward feel to it. You know, everything was going away from Wehunt's strength.
He first and 10 for Little Rock Catholic. Little Rock Central. They'll have the ball on their own 22-yard line as Lawson Gunn, your quarterback, works from under center. He wants to throw the football, will throw a sling pass out. Going to be incomplete to Franklin.
Chafee had a chance there if he'd saw the ball.
Almost a lateral.
Almost was, and that's one to jump on. A little bit concerning now that Wehunt is on the dressing table with Coach Griffiths.
Again, it'll be second down, 2nd and 10. Again, 1:29 to go here before the half. Southside trails 17-zip. As Gunn calls out signals, he'll do a double shift off the right side. Here's a snap, a handoff to the running back who falls down. That is Franklin, who falls down back at the 20-yard line.
I think his quarterback took him down by the looks of things.
If you're Southside right now, you got 3rd down, you've got 2 timeouts. You need to take those timeouts.
Yeah, we need some time here to get something going in this first half.
As Central comes to the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line, again, they'll have one back in the backfield. That is Sam Franklin.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't slow this down tremendously from the pace they've been going.
Yeah, Southside they had 120-something. They let run off the clock under a minute now. Here's a snap to Gunn. Wants to throw a deep pass, has a open receiver, incomplete.
I think the hurry up there really got to him and he overthrew it. Good job by the Southside defensive line to really put the pressure on him and force them into a kick. Not a lot of time left on the clock, and Wehunt still being tended to by Coach Griffiths.
Looks like they're taping his ankle up, and that what may have played into this too is the fact that he is injured on the play. So hopefully he'll get back in the ball game here. Again, 47 seconds to go before half. Southside trails 17-zip as Keeling Baker checks in. Here's a high snap that goes up almost over his head. He's going to run with the football, gets the ball away, and really gets a nice punt off as it will go out of bounds. Should be inside the 45-yard line.
Actually, a very good result for them compared to where they started. In fact, I didn't know Australian rules were in place here tonight, Keith, but that's...
I missed something on that one. Looked like the ball went out at the 43, and they're going to spot it back at the 48.
Yeah, I think that's where actually that the referee was over there and saw where it went out.
As Luke White will check in at quarterback. Luke White has really had to step up here the last few weeks as he's played some quarterback. He's also played some safety, doing a little bit of everything as Wehunt limps over to try to get back in the ball game. Southside goes trip set wide side of the field. Here's a snap and a rollout by Wyatt. Throws the ball, going to be incomplete, intended for Jackson Morosky at the Central 46-yard line. Brings up second down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. 32 seconds on the clock as Wehunt limps back onto the field for the Mavs.
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to see him get injured any further than he is, and what I'm afraid of, he's got an ankle sprain. He's not telling the coaches just how bad it is.
One thing about Parker Wiegand, he's a tough kid.
Tough.
Again, second down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. Here's a snap to Wehunt. Wants to throw the football. Has time to throw the ball. Throws it over the middle, complete to his receiver inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. That is Jake Tyler on the catch. Now, Southside's got 2 timeouts, 23 seconds. No, they don't have to run a play. They can go ahead and take a timeout, but they're going to start the clock down to 18 seconds on the clock. Here's a snap to Wehunt. Is going to be sacked in the backfield back at the 40-yard line. We'll lose 2 on the play.
I think we got a timeout now.
And Southside is going to take a timeout with 10 seconds. We'll take one, too. This is Southside Matter Football Spirit 106.3. 1 minute.
To exceed your expectations as your local fully licensed contractor, specializing in no job that is too small or
How long?
A minute. 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Concrete, HVAC, plumbing, electric, flooring, painting, windows, and more. Whatever your
think I may have put my coat on at halftime.
Construction can do it all. Locally owned, state licensed, and insured for your protection. Chafee Construction, 434-5203.
Proud sponsor of Southside football. Go Landon!
In Shady Point, Oklahoma, on Highway 59, just across the border of the Arkansas line. There's a little cabin on the side of the road that serves the best jerky in the world I know. House Beef Jerky is the place you gotta go. House Beef Jerky. House Beef Jerky. House Beef Jerky is the place you gotta go.
House homemade beef jerky in Shady Point, Oklahoma.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
It'll be second down, 2nd and 12 at the 40-yard line. Little Rock Central Southside trail 17 zip. 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Here's a snap to Weehunt. Looks to throw the ball. Steps up in the pocket. Will throw the ball complete to his receiver. That's Kel Sheets inside the 25-yard line down to the 24-yard line. Southside will go ahead and take their last timeout. With that timeout, too, we'll take one. You'll listen to Southside Better Football on Spirit 106.3. 1 minute.
It's not going to stop.
Yes, sir.
It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call Westgard Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the Westgard Plumbing, 646-5151.
Heaven forbid you get a cracked windshield. If you do, you need to call Mr. Auto Glass. Mr. Auto Glass provides the highest quality service in the area. Customer service and safety are the top priorities for all of their customers. They can take care of your insurance claims. They offer in-shop as well as mobile on-site service, and most jobs can be completed in the same day. Locally owned since 1988 at 3017 Tyson Avenue, Fort Smith. Give them a call, 782-4441.
Back to the stadium and more Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back. We've got 3 seconds to go here before the half. Southside trail 17 zip. They will have 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line of Little Rock Central. Last play of the half here is Southside lines up 2 receivers split to the right of Parker Weehunt. Weehunt wants to throw the ball. Will take the ball to the corner of the end zone. Going to be intercepted at the end zone. Actually going to be incomplete as he goes out of bounds. And we're going to be at the half. Southside trail 17 zip. Be back with the halftime show after this. It's Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Going on for Southside Mavericks football. KZ.
Let's do 3-minute segments.
Friendly radio, Spirit 106.3. Yes, sir.
Get excited about the most important meal of the day at the Egg and I restaurant. The Egg and I serves up delicious, fresh, cooked-to-order breakfast, brunch, and lunch entrees, all in a friendly, clean atmosphere. You'll love their healthy choices and fresh juices so much you'll want to sign up for the Egg Club loyalty card to earn free meals and coupons, or plan your next meeting in their meeting room. So now that you're excited, make plans to visit the Egg and I restaurant at 3801 Planters Road. Call 242-3447. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick football. Just like the professional educators at Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has served Fort Smith since the 1960s. They are Fort Smith's only factory authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and now the Mahindra Roxor brand. That's sport quality, exciting, reputable.
I hate to do that, though, because you can see really well.
I'm fine.
On Facebook or at
Next break, I'm going to put this on underneath.
Historic downtown Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride.
At Shelter Insurance, we know landlords have to keep up with their renters, even if they're related.
Mom, Dad, we just dropped by to pick up your
Rent check. I'm running a little short this month.
Not everything works as smoothly as Shelter's renter's policy. It helps cover stuff in case of fire, theft, and more.
What if I just moved back into my own room? Oh, you mean Dad's new man cave? Oh, man.
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. You need your shelter.
Ask Shelter agent Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
The fall celebration is here at Crabtree RV. Take advantage of RV show pricing on hundreds of new models. Deer Hunter specials under 10K and wholesale to the public prices on dozens of pre-owned RVs. And the most money for your trade. These deals are so good, it's scary. So stop in today. The new 2020s are arriving daily.
game tonight? How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly decorated swirling waters of the Oakmont Spring Spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun, and a great end to an exhilarating football game. So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121 South Sierra to check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
This is the Southside Mavericks halftime report on Spirit 106.3. Brought to you by Frank Rowe Furniture, the best seat in the house.
Hey, we want to thank Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 Fort Street, Barley. Best seats in the house, no credit check financing. Made in the USA recliners, sofas, beds, tables, and chairs. Made in the USA appliances, washers, dryers, stoves, refrigerators. Check them out, 479-478-7006, www.frankrowefurniture.com. We're at the half, Southside Trail, 17 zip, and Philip Peavy House. It was a game in the first half. We talked about things that Southside couldn't do that they needed to do to win this ball game tonight. One of them was no turnovers. We had 2 turnovers, led to 10 points. We said no big plays. Second play of the ball game was a 54-yard touchdown run. They got the big play, and then we said finish. Southside's been in Central Territory 3 times, has no points.
Yeah, and you don't mind being a prophet when it's good things you're prophesying. But when we're talking that and we're watching it happen all within the first few minutes of the ball game, you put yourself in a hole. And once you're in a hole, you're no longer controlling the game. You're trying to get it back. And you know, anytime we're chasing instead of leading, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing as a team. Now, that is not to say we haven't seen good plays out of the Southside offense, Southside defense, but those plays are trying to make up that deficit.
The Southside defense, really, you had the first series, they got the big touchdown, then they got a fumble recovery on Southside's first play from scrimmage. They go 21 yards for the touchdown. Southside defense has really settled down and played well. As Little Rock Central has had 2 3-and-outs. They had another Southside turnover deep in Southside territory. The defense steps up, forces a field goal. The defense really overall has played well, which gives you a good feeling going into the second half, is the fact that the defense has really got control of that side of the ball right now. It's just a matter of whether or not the offense can step up and make plays.
Well, and some of the good things that are happening is when the defense puts them in that position is now you've put them in those special team places where they're not as comfortable. We saw one bad snap on a extra point try. The place kicker was actually able to get the ball up in time. That could have been a difference. The last punt that Little Rock Central had almost went over the punter's head. The snap did. Could have been a safety. We could have got the ball back. At the same time, we saw the punter actually go Australian rules football, took off running, and I thought he was going to keep it, but no, he let it go, and actually a decent kick for them.
Good.
But those are the positions you want to put them in, where they're on their heels and they're having to improvise as they go.
Exactly, and they did a good job early of running that quick offense. Had some penalties out of it, but gained positive yardage. A lot of misdirection early. Southside's really done a good job of really taking that away. And I give credit to your middle linebacker, really, Landon Chafee. I think he got to a point where he said enough's enough, and he really kind of took this game over.
Took the game over, and how about the defensive line doing some hurries on Central's quarterback? Now, we'd like to see those hurries transition the second half into sacks, loss of yards, maybe a lost ball. We're going to have a pickup from our defense if we're going to be victorious.
One thing I would like to see, too, in the second half, Philip, is you talk about the pressure they're getting on the quarterback, but I would like to see our D-backs maybe come up, maybe take a chance, maybe go up there, play a passing lane, try to make a big play, get an interception at some point. We're really still giving at certain points. Now, Chase Reyna, I think, is the exception, doing a great job covering off that corner, done a really good job with a 6'6" kid. Murdoch at the corner has done a good job, but we need some of the other guys to really step up, maybe play the passing lanes, maybe take a gamble.
Yeah, and this is all Las Vegas football tonight because we're playing with one safety, which he has a responsibility, which really means zero coverage when we get down to it. Nobody is the loose cannon out there playing center field when you're playing one safety. And so how important is that tonight, especially Little Rock Central's passing game? Outside of a few exceptions, they like to pass just to the flat. There's nobody between you and the goal line if you get the ball, and that's 6 points.
Exactly. Again, we're at the half, Southside Trail 17. Zip be back with tonight's first half scoring summary after this. Just the Southside Maverick football spread 106.3.
Jewelry is something special given to someone special, and at Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, we Cheshire's Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. If you can dream it, you can make it. Custom jewelry, repairs, and watches, all serviced and done in our stores. Cheshire's accepts all credit cards and offers 12-month same-as cash financing. Cheshire's Fine Jewelry, where our customers feel like home.
Life would be so much easier if you could afford a reliable car. If you could get approved for financing and move past your credit history. With Byrider, it can be easier. Choose from our inventory of quality cars, all with great warranties or optional service plans. Plus, we'll work with your credit challenges to try and get you approved for financing. So you can stop saying if and start moving forward. Byrider. Buy, finance, drive on. Begin your online application today at byrider.com.
Cherry Berry self-serve frozen yogurt offers 50 rotating healthy flavors and 100 toppings. Simply grab a cup and start swirling. Add toppings ranging from granola, cereals, and fresh fruits to all kinds of candies, sprinkles, and even a variety of nuts and syrups. After the creation is complete, weigh and pay by the ounce. At Cherry Berry, the possibilities are endless as you have complete control.
Cherry Berry in the Fort Smith Pavilion.
That's how you do it.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick football. Just like the professional educators, Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has served Fort Smith since the 1960s. They are Fort Smith's only factory authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and now the Mahindra Roxor brand. That's sport quality, signing reputable brands all under one roof. Visit them online at WheelerPowersports.com, on Facebook, or at 901 North 11th Street in historic downtown Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride. Heaven forbid you get a cracked windshield. If you do, you need to call Mr. Auto Glass. Mr. Auto Glass provides the highest quality service in the area. Customer service and safety are the top priorities for all of their customers. They can take care of your insurance claims. They offer in-shop as well as mobile on-site service, and most jobs can be completed at the same day. Locally owned since 1988 at 3017 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. Give them a call, 782-4441.
The office of Dr. Henry J. U. Dodge
Last
Jr.,
commercial.
Dr. Henry
Okay.
J. U. Dodge III at U. Dodge Orthodontics has been a respected provider in our orthodontic care community since 1972. The top priority of their practice is to provide you the highest quality orthodontic care in a fun, friendly, comfortable environment. They utilize the latest technological advances in the field of orthodontics to ensure that you receive the most effective care possible. U. Dodge Orthodontics, 782-3021. Go Mavericks!
Welcome back. Stay tuned for the West Ark Plumbing Expert Drain Cleaning Services post-game show, where we will name our Fort Smith Flooring Group offensive and defensive players of the game. Philip, as you look at the first half, Southside came out here, and really it was a cold night. Southside came out cold as they kicked the ball off to Little Rock Central. Central started their opening drive on their 33-yard line. 3 plays later, they run a misdirection play to their fine running back, Sam Franklin. He goes 54 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, and you see those 2 quick plays. I know we had a touchdown later that they scored, but you know, after those, Southside defense stepped up. But man, you're in a hole then, and it's a hole that I don't know if our offense is capable of climbing out of. And not trying to be discouraging or negative Nancy. I just think when we look at the points for and points against that we have this year, 117 for, 249 against, it kind of puts us in a big insurmountable hole.
Southside takes over their own 20-yard line after a kick into the end zone on the ensuing kickoff by Little Rock Central. First play of the series, a fumble by Jay Washington recovered by Little Rock Central at the Southside 21-yard line. And we're not even barely a minute into the ball game, and we're down 7. They've got the ball at our 21-yard line. 4 plays later, they get a 12-yard touchdown pass from Lawson Gunn, the quarterback, to T.J. Pennington, just a swing pass out. He races the Southside defender, outruns him to the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, with few exceptions, Little Rock's passing game is just an extension of their run game, and that's exactly what that play was there.
Southside gets the ball back. They're able to move the ball a bit, and then pretty much the bulk of the first half was just changing possession. Southside had a couple of really good drives, was not able to get points out of either drive. In fact, they had first and goal at the 9-yard line. Can't get the ball in the end zone. That was kind of really the highlight drive for Southside. And towards the end of the first half, a screen pass was intercepted by Little Rock Central. Great field position for Central at the Southside 48-yard line. They're able to drive down and get a 30-yard field goal from Keeling Baker to increase the lead to 17-0. But as you said, Philip, really the Southside defense kind of settled in.
And that was a great stand by them to hold them to a field goal because, as you said, they had outstanding field position to begin with and could have done a lot of things differently. Southside defense was a part of why they couldn't do things differently, had to settle for 3 points instead of 6.
Southside comes back, and they had really their best drive of the night as they go 11 plays from the 21-yard line, get the ball down deep, but they lose it on downs. And, again, Southside doing some good things offensively. Defense, I think, really has kind of settled in now. So, you know, you got to figure it out. If you want to make the playoffs, it's now or never.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, the game is in your hands. I remember there was actually a playoff stretch where we were at Bryant one night. We were down 21-0 at halftime, came back and won the game. And sometimes it's just who wants it the most. Now, if you look at Little Rock Central, historically this year, most of their scoring is in the first quarter. That's kind of what we've seen here tonight, Keith. So if we stay with that, Central doesn't score a lot in the second half.
Philip, don't you kind of feel, too, as you watch this game, as it kind of plays out, don't you feel like that Southside, you know, we harp on this offensively. They've got to finish, and if they could ever finish a drive, get those points, get that momentum, it could be put some pressure on the other guys. There's really no pressure as long as you don't score.
Yeah, I mean, when we were in the red zone earlier on one of the drives, I mean, we were actually going backwards, Keith. Some penalties, some mistakes, and you can't be doing that. We have to be going forward. Even if it's just a couple of yards, we're moving toward where we want to be. And, you know, you want to have that taste of success in your offense because that just breeds that confidence. And I think we don't have that confidence this year for whatever reason, youngness, some youth that is out there, maybe a few skill positions short of being where we need to be. We're still not that far off, but those mistakes can result in points for the other team.
Exactly. We're at the half. Southside trails 17-0. Be back with more after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Got that rattle, squeak, and roll, or that noise you can't control? With affordable pricing on repairs and replacements, the Car Clinic can get you noise-free and on the road again. Wheels, tires, and brake replacements starting at $199 for most vehicles. Needing a fresh look? Let the Car Clinic do your upgrades and accessories. Window tint, the best prices on Scorpion vent liners, car audio, and electronics. The Car Clinic will get your car looking fine and sounding fine again. At the corner of Roberts and Chancom, the Car Clinic, ready to serve you. 551-2420.
Life would be so much easier if you could afford a reliable car. If you could get approved for financing and move past your credit history. With Byrider, it can be easier. Choose from our inventory of quality cars, all with great warranties or optional service plans. Plus, we'll work with your credit challenges to try and get you approved for financing. So you can stop saying if and start moving forward. Byrider. Buy, finance, drive on. Begin your online application today at byrider.com.
Hello, radio listener. Are you enjoying the football game tonight? How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly beneficial swirling waters of your own hot spring spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun, and a great end to an exhilarating football game. So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121 South Zero to check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Arc Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Arc Plumbing, 646-5151.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick Football. Just like the professional educators at Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has served Fort Smith since the 1960s. Being a Fort Smith's only factory authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and now the Mahindra Roxor brand. That's sport quality, exciting, reputable brands all under one roof. Visit them online at WheelerPowersports.com, on Facebook, or at 901 North 11th Street in historic downtown. Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride. Heaven forbid you get a cracked windshield. If you do, you need to call Mr. Auto Glass. Mr. Auto Glass provides the highest quality service in the area. Customer Take
Last
care of
commercial.
your insurance
Thank you.
claims. They offer in-shop as well as mobile on-site service, and most jobs can be completed in the same day. Locally owned since 1988 at 3017 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. Give them a call, 782-4441.
Welcome back to Quigley Stadium, and we're waiting on the second half to get started here. We're sitting here looking at a very historic place, actually a field where the airborne officers from the United States Army camped out during the 1957 desegregation crisis. In fact, there were 9 African-American students who wanted to go to school here, and the Army was here to enforce it in spite of the feelings of the community. In significance of that, Keith, there are 9 stripes on the Central Tiger to always remember those 9 who paved the way for integration in Little Rock.
I didn't know that.
Well, you learn something every day.
Yes,
And,
exactly.
you know, there's this thing called the internet that's very enlightening.
Exactly. Again, we're at the half Southside Trail 17 zip, and again, Philip, it's a game that's not out of reach by any means, and you know, Southside can step up, get some points this first drive, get back in it.
Yeah, nothing's over till it's over, and I know that sounds so cliche, and you hear people say it, and maybe even some people talk about the not-so-skinny lady singing. But you know what? We're still in this game. It's a fresh set here in the second half, fresh set of downs for Southside. We get the ball, go down and score, and now you've made it a ball game. I am a little frightened while you stepped away just for a second, Keith. The Little Rock kicker was over here experimenting, and he was kicking 50-yard field goals in front of us here. Now, no one was screaming at him or coming at him from the opposite side. That's still quite a kicker for high school football.
Well, he's quite an athlete, too. We saw that on the high snap. He grabs it with one hand and has the presence of mind to, as you say, do a rugby kick, get away, get the ball away. And it was 25 yards. Could have been 2 points for Southside or maybe a touchdown.
We've kind of always been on the short end of the stick, it seems, this year on the breaks. And, you know, that was one of those breaks that maybe for other Southside teams that would have resulted in a special teams touchdown for us. But it's just one of those things you have to live with. Life is the way it is. We can't wish it to be a certain way. And we've got to come out here and show that there is still some fight in the Southside Mavericks.
And I think there will be as we're going to start the second half here. Southside will get the ball, and that's why I said it would have been important to try to get some points there right before the half, knowing you had the ball to start the second half. But nonetheless, I think there'll be some changes that you'll see from Southside. One thing I would like to see them maybe do is maybe try to sneak a play. As we talked about in the first half, Central really loading the box down, a lot of man coverage on the outside. Southside receivers so far doing a pretty good job of getting open.
Doing a good job, and I really like the way number 31, Jake Tyler, is just kind of settling in to what they're giving him and not trying to do too much, not trying to make something happen, but just settle in, give Wee Hunt the time, be an open target.
Exactly. Again, Southside will get the ball to start the second half. I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors, Chafee Construction, One Call Does It All, 434-5203, Wheeler Power Sports, Wheeler Makes It Easy, 226-8724, and Cheshire's Fine Jewelry. If you can dream it, they can make it, 646-6715.
Wouldn't it be nice to come out, get a score, and get right back in this game? I mean, 17-0 is not insurmountable.
Well, what it comes down to is putting pressure on the other team, and the only way they're going to put any pressure on the other team is to have a big play, get some points, and just kind of really fire that sideline up. But that being said, give credit to the Southside defense. I really thought once they really settled in, and you've got 17 points on the board, but you really think about it, 10 points were directly off turnovers.
Directly off turnovers, your defense was in a horrible position to defend it to begin with. But when it's been straight up man-to-man, they've really been able to keep them to 3 points.
I really think this has been a microcosm of the season for Southside. It's and we harp on this a lot, is the 3 phases of the game: special teams, defense, offense, all working together. And when the offense, defense aren't really working together like you want them to, I think the defense, sometimes you look at the stats, are not quite what you think they should be. Well, there's really more to it than just maybe not stopping the team.
Yeah, and I don't think they've played that bad. If maybe the offense could just pick it up a little bit. We really are dependent tonight on special teams to get those big chunks of yardage.
Again, Southside will retrieve the ball here to start the second half as Keeling Baker tees the ball up for Little Rock Central. Back deep for the Mavs will be Jay Washington along with Connor Austin. Just about ready to go here as the ball is teed up. Baker approaches the football. It's going to be a short kick that's going to be caught at the 37-yard line. That is, I believe that was Josh Hannon making the play for Southside.
I'm glad he was there, too, because that could have been disastrous. It really was almost like a fake kick the way he kicked it to the far side of the field.
Teams have really stayed away from Jay Washington this year.
I'm telling you, they are frightened by his ability to get behind that return team.
Again, Southside will have 1st and 10. They'll start this drive at their own 36-yard line. Again, they trail 17-zip. And the thing I've got a question, though, is Baker was actually kicking the ball out of the end zone. I don't think there's that much wind going on. Surprised they didn't try that. Here's a handoff to Jay Washington. Will be driven back after they'll give him about a yard on the play. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 9 for the Mavs.
You know, that may only be a yard, but it's still a positive play, and we need those positive plays to continue. And kind of like when you're bowling a game, you know, if you get a strike here or there, that's wonderful. But when you string them together, that's when the scores happen.
Well, as you said earlier, you're also wearing down that defensive line. Hopefully it'll pay off here in the end, maybe get some big plays. And, again, 2nd down, 2nd and 9 for the Mavs. Here's a snap to Wehunt. We'll throw the ball down the field, going to be complete to Jake Tyler. What a great over-the-shoulder catch by Tyler at the Central 46-yard line.
If we were having a banquet tonight with the most athletic catch of the year, he would have just got that award.
Well, it's close. You got that one, and Josh Hannon made a really good catch last week, too. So
yeah, we also had the catch last week that was called back by the offensive pass interference that didn't exist.
But, you know, you're starting to see some things, too, on these receivers. They're really starting to step up and make some plays, and it's not just 1 or 2 guys.
No, it's great to see.
Again, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Washington. Makes a great cut back inside. Is at the 40-yard line and will be flung down. And that's what you talk about right there. That was when you see that tackle right there, it looks like it was a horse collar, but I don't think it was. That was Kieran Blaylock, the linebacker. But that's what happens when you're 140 pounds.
Yeah, you get slung around a little bit, but great move by Washington. He trusted his line. He waited to see the opening, saw it, cut right through it.
Again, 2nd down, 2nd and 4. Here's a quick pass over the middle. Going to be incomplete, intended for Jake Tyler. Goes off his hands, incomplete. Looks like the ball may have been tipped.
Yeah, something looked kind of strange about it because Tyler is sure-handed. That hit him in the hands. I think he was trying to make a play, but the flight was off just a little bit. But I like the play call, the quick hitter.
And what Southside can do is by playing that man coverage out there, they're going to really play off the ball quite a bit. So Southside can just hit a soft spot in there just like Jake Tyler did, and it should be effective all night. Just got to be patient.
That wasn't even a 2-step drop. That was just a stand up and throw, and really caught Central looking.
Be 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Mavs. Here's a snap, a rollout. No, that's actually Luke White in the game. Will throw the ball, going to be incomplete. Tough throw for Wyatt right there. That was just he's moving. He couldn't set his feet.
It was actually moving away from the play, and that would be hard for even a Ryan Mallett to complete. And the reason for that was the pressure that Central had on him on the rollout.
Connor Austin will check in the ball game for the Mavs.
Yeah, this has all got to be 4-down territory, and I think Wyatt's maybe going to be in the game because I think maybe Wehunt's ankle is worse than what we thought.
Well, he had time to really settle down on it. It may have swelled up on him. We don't know. As Wyatt takes a snap, will throw the ball. That looks. Will throw the ball over the middle. Going to be incomplete as he misses his receiver. That's Connor Austin at the 29-yard line. Southside will turn the ball over on downs.
Yeah, you almost wish they would have caught that, Keith, and that would have been like maybe a mini punt, but instead the ball comes back to the 40.
And that's a tough position to put Luke Wyatt in, having to come in the ball game, and he had to come in the first half really cold and now tries to get back in. I think you're right about Wehunt.
Yeah, something's going on that we're not privy to.
Yeah, I'll try to look down there and see if I can see him down on the field. Don't see him anywhere.
He was just standing on the sideline, looking very dejected as well. I'm sure he wants to be in there with his team.
Be 1st and 10 for Central. They'll go with him back in the backfield. That sample. They'll bring a man in motion. Here's a handoff to the motion man crosses the 45-yard line, will be run out of bounds at that point. That is Logan Heyman on the carry.
Yeah, Central's line actually set a very nice wall, and there just wasn't much the Southside defense could do other than stand with that wall.
They'll bring up second down, 2nd and 6, as Landon Chafee makes the play for the Southside defense. As Little Rock Central will go with a shift formation, strong left. Here's a handoff to Sample, going to be getting across midfield to the Southside 47-yard line, where Dakota Wareheim along with Angel Hernandez and Caleb Sanders make the play for the Southside defense.
We've got a man down for Central.
And we've got an injury. With that injury, we'll take a timeout. Using Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Do a minute and a half.
Family-friendly radio, Spirit 106.3.
Yes, sir.
I think you love that car more than you love me.
How can you say that?
You hand wash it, you hand wax it, you listen to the same music.
Pure coincidence.
It's going to be an ankle.
No Sample.
Yes.
I'm one happy camper. Shelter Insurance has great agents who are nuts about cars. We're competitively priced, and our claims people are fast, fair, and friendly. Ask your agent about Shelter's auto insurance. We're your shield, and we're your shelter.
Ask Shelter Insurance
Just do a minute.
Chris Dooley about a free auto insurance review.
All righty.
Fresh means fresh, as in no preservatives. That's right. If it's fresh, it doesn't need to be preserved. Try Jim's 100% premium Wisconsin cheese. Fresh whole milk mozzarella with smoked provolone, old world style Romano and Parmesan. The freshest all-you-can-eat salad bar in town. No preservatives and fresh every time. At the corner of Greenwood and Gary in Fort Smith.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
As we get back to action, Lawson Gunn keeps the ball, will be tackled right at the line of scrimmage by Landon Chafee. Brings up second down, 2nd and 10. That was Jeremiah Sample, the injured Tiger, on the play. He's helped to the sidelines. Again, 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Here's a snap to Gunn. He wants to throw the ball, throws the ball complete to his receiver. That's Pennington inside the 40, inside the 35-yard line. And that's exactly what I'm talking about right there, Phillip. You give him 5 yards, he gets 15.
Yeah, he's operating in space, and he is very quick off of his feet. In fact, left us standing in our tread, so to speak.
Here's a handoff to the running back. That's Franklin. Gets the corner. We'll cut it back inside. We'll get inside the Southside 30 down to about the 25-yard line. Be a gain of 8 on the play. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 2 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and it's time now for the Southside defense to stiffen up, get in the game here, and let's get a stop.
Is it me? Is Landon Chafee on almost every play?
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Here's a handoff to the running back. Actually, that's the quarterback. Gunn keeping. We'll have a first down at the 20-yard line.
Good job by the Little Rock Central line, because we had an extra down lineman, had 5 actually down, and we weren't able to stop it.
Clayton Johnson makes the play for the Southside defense. Lawson Gunn looks to the sidelines to get the play. Has Sam Franklin in the backfield. Trip set wide side of the field. Again, 1st and 10 at the Southside 20-yard line. Here's a snap, a handoff to Franklin off the left side. We'll get outside and we'll be hemmed in at about the 18-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 8 for the Tigers. Good job by Southside stringing the play out.
Yeah, and use that sideline and make him go that way. When you've got a wall of white there, it was pretty easy for them to do so.
Again, 7:53 to go here. Southside trails 17-zip. Again, Lawson Gunn, your quarterback. Franklin in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a keeper by Gunn. He's going to be hit and dropped after maybe about a 3-yard gain as Sam Sanders gets off the bottom of the pile for the Southside defense along with Landon Chafee.
It was an option read. He actually had 2 options before he decided to tuck and run, which make it a triple option.
Big 3rd down here for the Southside defense. 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Obviously, from watching their kicker, Baker, they're in field goal range.
Absolutely.
Here's a snap. Here's a quick slant pass over the middle, complete. It'll be 1st and 10 for first and goal at the 7-yard line. Making the play for the Southside defense is Dakota Wareheim, and they found an opening over the middle. On the catch is Davis Hawkins, but when you play one safety, it leaves that middle of the field open.
It's going to be there.
Here's a snap, here's a handoff, and a cutback by Franklin. He's going to be hit, going to be dropped at the 7-yard line.
Sean Rogers was involved there.
Yeah, Sean Rogers along with Angel Hernandez make the play for the Southside defense. All year long, Southside, first and goal for the other team, has made it very tough to get in the end zone. Again, second down, they want to throw the ball this time. Here's the pass going to be intended over there. I believe that, again, was the big receiver on Maury Murdoch. The ball goes incomplete. Good coverage again by Chase Reyna.
Yeah, and that was could have been a lot of hand shoving and pushing, and I was really waiting to see what the call was, but the referees did a good job of no call.
They get a big third down, third and goal for Little Rock Central, the Southside 7-yard line. Big third down here for the Maverick defense. Scunn calls out signals, takes a snap. He wants to throw the ball. Will throw the ball over, going to be complete at the 3. And a good job by Southside over there making the play at the 3-yard line. As had a little bit of room there. That was Franklin on the catch. It'll be fourth down at the 3-yard line. I think if I'm Little Rock Central, I'm not sure 3 points makes that much difference. They may go for it here.
Looks like they are so far, but there may be some discussion on the sidelines. They may be calling timeout. Yeah, they're going to wait and call a timeout, I believe, Keith.
Yeah, Lawson Gunn looks to the sidelines to see what they want to do, but a good job of tackling in space.
Oh, yeah, they closed that down in a hurry. And that's what we needed. If they get anything here, we only need to give them 3. Yeah, I think they're just going to let the clock roll down, then they'll call timeout.
Do a little bit of clock management here as they will let the clock run down. It's 4 seconds on the game clock, 5:49 on the game clock. And now they'll run the clock down, and we'll take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one, too. It's the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. 1 minute.
Hello, radio listener.
Yes, sir.
Are you enjoying the football game tonight? How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly beneficial swirling waters of your own hot spring spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun, and a great.
Will they take a delay of game?
Just do one commercial.
So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121
Yeah, they did.
South Sea Road. Check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back as we get back to action. Little Rock Central, instead of taking a timeout, actually takes a 5-yard delay of game penalty, moves the ball back. Keeling Baker comes in to attempt a 23-yard field goal. It's good. Now it's 20-0. Little Rock Central leads Southside, and that's not such a bad thing right there because you're still on a good number right there, Philip.
Yeah, a little shocked by their strategy there. Normally, you like the closer you are, the better for a field goal, but they wanted to give a little space there.
I think it was the angle he was at. They didn't like that particular
angle. I thought his angle was fine, but, you know, I'm not down there, and, of course, I'm for Southside as well.
Well, kickers are different. They have a different mentality, and he didn't like the angle.
Yeah. Again, had to be what it was. Still hadn't seen that very often where they on purpose take it. You might see it sometimes on a punt when you're trying to burn time, but not often on a field goal attempt.
But a good job by the Southside defense nonetheless, keeping Little Rock Central out of the end zone. A good drive, too, by Central. They ate up a huge chunk of time as we've only got 5:38 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Central's going to eat up a lot of time when they have the ball because they like to keep it on the ground, and they're not going to do a whole lot of things to stop the clock.
And back deep for Southside will be Jay Washington along with Connor Austin.
I remember watching Central last year, and I think even commented to you, Keith, they're not that far away from being a good team.
And they've had a good year. It's a process. The guys on the hill know it's a process. I believe Little Rock Central may be just ahead of them right now. Here's the kickoff. It's going to come down to Washington at the 2-yard line, crosses the 10. He's at the 15. Tries to find a hole, nothing there, will be tackled at the Southside 21-yard line. And that's something we kind of forget about, too, a lot, Philip, is field position. Give Keeling Baker, the Little Rock Central punter, kicker, has done a great job of putting the Mavs deep in their own territory.
He keeps you back, and then now you've got 80 yards to go instead of 60 or 50. And Jay Washington there had a hole for a moment, but they closed it up real quickly.
Southside again will start this drive on their 21-yard line. Luke White checks back in at quarterback for the Mavs. He'll have two backs in the backfield now. A man in motion is Nathan Bogner. Here's a snap to Wyatt. He looks to throw the ball. Will take the ball down the field. Going to be almost intercepted as he threw the ball into
about 4 Central players.
Quadruple coverage, incomplete.
Yeah. They've got number 31, Tyler's number, and it looks like they've decided he is not going to catch another ball if they can help it.
That's what you call the definition of trying to force a football in right there.
Dangerous throw, dangerous throw.
Yeah, exactly. They'll bring up second down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. Again, they'll go two backs in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Washington. We'll cut it back inside. We'll get up to about the south side 24-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 7 for the Mavs. 5:15 to go here in the third quarter. Southside trails 20-zip.
Yeah, Southside's still playing hard, and we don't want anyone at home to think that they're not. But we need a string of good events here to happen to keep this drive alive.
I can't remember, though, having this many shutouts. I think right now, hopefully Southside will break that streak tonight, but they've been shut out 3 times this year. Here's a rollout by Wyatt. Looks down the field, gets a good block. Here's the ball thrown down the field, going to be incomplete. Intended receiver is Josh Hannon.
I think what we're seeing there is Wyatt hasn't probably got a number of snaps and repetitions with these receivers. And I'm not sure Hannon knew what he was doing there, and he was trying to lead him forward. In fact, it was open for a touchdown if he could have completed it.
Again, Southside will have to punt the ball away as Adam Puckett stands back at his own 11-yard line. Puckett's not had a lot of punts tonight. I believe this will be his 3rd punt of the night.
Done a good job all year. In fact, we're very fortunate to have him.
Talked about that with Coach. We say this every week. We're going to miss him at some point. Here's a kick, and it's going to be blocked. And the ball's on the ground, and Central will have possession at the 16-yard line.
That should be Southside ball, shouldn't it?
Change of possession. Then it would be Southside's ball if they had picked it up and recovered it.
They're going to give it to Central, which is their
play because the guy was in there so quick you couldn't really do anything.
Once the ball is touched, though, Ruffin goes out the window.
Exactly.
That's a chance you take, when you run at a punter like that. Is if I don't catch some part of the ball, well, it's going to be a 15-yard roughing the kicker.
The great field position for the Tigers. They'll start this drive on the Southside 16-yard line. Again, 4:36 to go here in the third quarter. Southside trails 20-zip. Lawson Gunn, still your quarterback, takes a snap. Wants to throw a ball. It's a quick tunnel screen to the inside. He's at the 10. Will fight his way down to about the 5-yard line. That is Trayvon Glover on the catch.
Kudos to him, Keith. That ball was almost on the ground, and he picked it right up and was able to have a good game.
Be first and goal at the 5-yard line. Here's a rollout by Gunn. He's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. What a nice defensive play for Southside.
Yeah, that was a textbook tackle. Helmet right on the numbers and shoving, driving forward.
That was Sam Sanders making the play for Southside. I looked at this Little Rock Central receiving core. You're either 6'6" or 5'9".
Yeah, there's a big drop off there.
But those 5'9" guys are tough.
They're all tough and they're all quick.
The second and goal at the 7-yard line. Here's a snap to Gunn. He looks to pistol. He wants to pump fake. Now we'll roll and we'll run out of bounds. You're right. Caleb Sanders came in there, and I believe that was big old number 75, who basically tackled him from getting a hold of Lawson Gunn.
Yeah, no flag though. The result of the play was fine, but you hate to see holding not called.
We'll lose yardage on the play back to the 14-yard line. That was an interesting call right there, in the fact that the ball is on the 9-yard line and you're doing a pump fake.
Yeah.
The pump fake's not going to work there. There's not enough field for a pump fake.
Yeah, 25 yards out there to go. So.
And looks like Central not in any hurry here as we're down to 10 on the play clock, and looks like they may go ahead and take a timeout here. Yeah, they're going to take we'll hold it here till they do. They'll take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one too. It's the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. 1 minute.
Yes, sir. We only use the finest quality diamonds in gemstones versus selling promotional quality items. Cheshire Fine Jewelry wants to be your personal jeweler. You can dream
Welcome back. It'll be 3rd and goal from the Southside 14-yard line for the Central Tigers. They lead Southside 20-zip, 3:28 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Austin Gunn takes a snap. He wants to throw the football. Still looks. Here comes the heat. Will throw the ball. And looks like Southside may have got an interception, though. It's going to take a one hop. But what good pressure there. That was Sean Rogers putting pressure on the quarterback will force another field goal attempt.
They gave it to us, Keith.
Oh, did they? Okay.
It looked like it had actually bounced off the ground to me, but the referee crew said that it's Southside ball. So that prevents them from getting a field goal.
Yeah, I believe that was Sam Sanders that made the play.
Yeah, the pressure created it, though.
Actually, I think it was 35, Caleb Sanders that made the play for. We'll give it to one of the Sanders. I think it was Caleb Sanders that made the catch. But, yeah, you're exactly right. It was the pressure that Sean Rogers put on the play that made the play happen. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mavs. They'll start this drive at their 9-yard line. Again, Luke Wyatt, your quarterback, replacing Parker Weehunt, who hurt his ankle in the first half. Here's a snap to Wyatt. Will throw the ball over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Connor Austin. Had a bit of a gap there.
I don't think Austin ever saw the ball to even track on it, though.
Well, I think what's happening here, Philip, is the fact that obviously you've got Luke Wyatt, who hasn't really played, obviously, any varsity time, and he's really kind of hurrying his plays just a bit. Maybe obviously the timing's not there right now.
Well, there's a sense of urgency. We all know that, and that's a lot of pressure on a sophomore.
Yeah, his first varsity action was 2 weeks ago against Bryant, and he had Adams, the big 240-pound running back, trying to tackle him in one-on-one, which isn't good. Here's a handoff to the running back. That's Washington. Will be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Will bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Mavs.
90 yards to go. We've got some players down there, Keith. I think it's one of the linemen.
Exactly. We've got an injury on the play, and with that, we'll go ahead and take a timeout. You're Southside Maverick football, Spirit 106.3.
Wheeler Power Sports is proud to be a part of Southside Maverick football. Just like the professional educators at Southside High School, Wheeler Power Sports has
Who is
served
that?
Smith since the 1960s.
50.
Just do one commercial.
50?
Almatrong.
Yes, sir.
Now the Mahindra Roxor brand and sport quality, signing reputable brands all under one roof. Visit them online at WheelerPowersports.com, on Facebook, or at 901 North 11th Street in historic downtown. Wheeler Power Sports. Get out and ride.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Here's the 3rd down play. It's a rollout by White. He's going to keep the football, crosses the 15. We'll have a Southside 1st down as he gets across the 22-yard line. We've got a flag on the play. Should be a face mask from where the penalty flag is. The injured Maverick on the play. The previous play was Alvin Trong, but Alvin Trong is able to run off under his own power, which is a good thing.
I think there's multiple fouls. It's actually going to be offsetting, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's going to bring the ball back to the 9-yard line. How do you call a hold? And you had the hold on the previous series where the guy is tackled in front of everybody.
Yeah, I think they're. I think Marlon Briggs there got a little exuberant with his counterpart, and maybe the referee took exception to it.
Yeah, Jackson.
Great play by Wyatt, though.
Jackson Morosky will check back in as a receiver for the Mavs as they go trip set to the right of Luke Wyatt. Wyatt looks over the defense again. 2:33 to go here. Southside trails 20-zip. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 10 from the Southside 10-yard line. Here's a snap to Wyatt. He wants to throw the ball, throws the ball down the field. It's going to be incomplete, intended for Jake Tyler as the ball is tipped away at the last second.
It's double coverage there. That would have been hard for anybody to have threaded that needle.
Southside will have to punt the ball away as they go 3 and out on this series.
You know, you like the way Wyatt throws the ball. You like his confidence, but some of these errant balls are going to get picked off eventually.
Well, he's thrown into a lot of crowded Tiger defenders, and I'm almost kind of thinking that why don't you try to sneak Bogner out of the backfield at some point. Here's a high snap. It's going to be fielded by Puckett. He gets the punt off. It's going to be fair caught, and the ball's on the ground. Let's see who's got it. Southside has it. That's
the referees
Dakota Wareheim.
haven't made a call yet, though.
That may be a big play for the Mavs. Again, only giving up that field goal. They're down 20, but you know, if you can get some points, you got a chance.
You got a chance. And, Keith, we learned last time that is a ball that cannot be advanced on a muffed fair catch.
Exactly. We learned it the hard way, though, don't we?
We learned the hard way.
We may learn it. We may still not believe it.
We'll say anything on this show, you know it.
The 1st and 10 for the Mavs after the turnover at the 45-yard line. Here's a snap. Wyatt wants to throw the football, wants to take the ball deep down the field. Has an open receiver. That's Josh Hannon. Drops the football at the 10-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, he was wide open. In fact, so wide open, I think he shocked himself.
A great throw, a bad ending. I want to go back to the previous play on the punt. That was a great job by Adam Puckett. The previous punt before was blocked. This was a high snap. Does a great job getting the ball, getting the punt off, and then you get the turnover.
And, you know, we've been talking about special teams got to pick us up, and they did right there.
And that's a play. You got to make that play if Southside ever was going to have a chance. And that's what we talked about going there. That was wide open. You got that matchup you like. Southside goes with a stack formation. Now they'll bring a man in motion. Here's a snap. White looks to throw the ball. Here comes the heat. He rolls away from the heat. He's at the 45. He's at the 40. Inside the 40 to the central. See where they're going to end up spotting the ball. That looks like it's 40-yard line.
40. Great speed shown by Wyatt on some of his rollouts here. There was nothing going to be there on that one. Central had sniffed it out, but at least he got about a 5-yard gain out of it.
And they're talking about something on the sideline. I'm not sure. It's going to be a penalty on Southside. A block in the back on the Mavs. It's going to bring the ball back. Should bring it back to around probably around midfield. The penalty actually happened back at the 40-yard line. What I like about Luke White that I've seen so far, obviously you kind of got the deer in the headlight look from having to come in the ball game like he did, not expecting to play tonight. But I'll tell you what, he can run the football.
He can run. He's got some wheels, and that speed is going to change how Central has to defend this game.
The ball will be spotted at the 50-yard line again. Southside needs a big play here. 2nd down, 2nd and 15. Here's a snap. White steps up in the pocket, throws the ball over the middle, complete to Josh Hannon. Hannon gets away inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Will be about 2 yards short of the first down. I noticed Wyatt in the preseason against Alma made a touchdown pass in the JV part of the scrimmage. Did a great job of rolling to his left, setting his feet. That's what you saw there.
Yeah.
When he can set his feet, he gets a little mustard on the ball.
Well, and what I like about his throw is it's over the top. I mean, it's a textbook way of throwing the ball. Nothing against Wee Hunt, just describing what Wyatt's doing, but it is a pretty ball when it comes out.
Again, a big 3rd down, 3rd and 1 for the Mavs. Here's a snap. Here's a quick handoff to Jack Clark. Has the first down. What a great job by the offensive line. On the right side, leading the charge over there is Josh Waldrop. Gets the opening block for Jack Clark and the first down.
We've got them on their heels now. We don't need to let off the gas pedal. Not trying to be Chad Morris, but is this hammer down time?
No, I don't want to hear hammer down.
Okay, we won't hear that.
It's still in neutral right now, but it's coming. Again, 1st and 10 for the Mavs. Here's a snap. White wants to throw. Has an open receiver. Now we'll take the ball deep down the field for Jake Tyler. I like what White did on the play. He actually looked to maybe try to throw a swing pass out to Jack Clark. Looked him off, tried to go deep to Tyler, but he was covered.
Yeah, I think Central has decided that Tyler is going to have 2 people with him wherever he goes. So even if he goes to sideline, 2 Central Tigers are going to escort him there. They're determined he's not going to win this game.
You know, really haven't seen a lot of Connor Austin tonight in the formations. They've had Kel Sheets coming in, Jackson Morowski, but not a lot of Connor Austin, who had a big game last week. Again, 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Here's a quick slant pass over the middle, and the ball was a bit behind. That was Jake Tyler, the intended receiver, and he can't hang on to the football. Good hit by the safety. That's what you want your safety to do. That was Johnny Brooks, the 4th, who made the play, but the ball was a bit behind. If he leads him, probably got a catch.
Yeah, and that's that quick hitter, and that quick hitter has been very effective here tonight.
Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 10, 34 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Southside trails 20-zip. Wyatt takes a snap. He rolls to his left. He steps up away from the pressure, still trying to get away, looks down the field. Will throw the ball, going to be incomplete. intended for Dimitri Lloyd on the sideline.
I'm afraid Dimitri there just run out of real estate, and he was already at the out of bounds line before the ball was almost even thrown.
A good job, though, nonetheless by Wyatt
Kept
to keep
the
play
play
alive.
alive.
Again, a big fourth down here. Obviously, Southside, no talk on this, have to go for it. Fourth down, 4th and 10 at the 33-yard line. I'm kind of thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe you take part of the field away, but maybe take Wyatt, maybe do some rollouts of some type.
Well, it's effective because if it's not there, he'll take off and run.
Wyatt takes a snap. Here comes the heat. He steps up in the pocket. Throws the ball, going to be complete inside the 20. Should have a first down for Southside. What a great pitch and catch for the Mavs.
And
trying to get the number. I believe that was Jake Tyler again for the Mavs.
It
on the
was.
pitch.
Tyler's going to feel it in the morning because he is living in the middle of the field there and taking a hit every time.
Well, he took that
catches
last hit on the throw behind, so again, 1st and 10 for the Mavs. Here's a snap, be the last play of the fourth quarter. As Wyatt has all day to throw the ball, he's going to throw the ball complete on a great throw to Jack Clark inside the 20 to about the 17. That's good to be at the end of 3 quarters. Southside trails 20-zip. He started the fourth quarter after this. Just a Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. I'll do a minute. Clay, I'm at 60.
I'm sorry?
I think I'm at 60.
Well, we've had 2 commercials that aren't playing tonight, so we don't have very many left at all.
Also, we're less than 80 tonight. Okay, that's good.
People say that Links at Chaffee Crossing is the best barbecue they've ever had, and a great place to sit down and watch the game on TV. So come on in and discover Links at Chaffee.
Very fortunate there to have a positive result on that play.
Great barbecue, delicious sides, mouth-watering burgers, plenty of TVs to watch the game, a game room with a pool table, and more. Good food and good times await you at Links at Chaffee Crossing off Custer Boulevard, Fort Smith.
Back to the Mavericks game now on Spirit 106.3.
We'll go back. It'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 7 at the Little Rock Central 17-yard line for the Mavs. A really nice drive for Southside. Started this drive at their 21-yard line. Actually, I believe it was at the 9-yard line they started this drive. Been a really good drive. Luke White doing a good job making those plays when he's had to. And again, 2nd down, 2nd and 7 is White calls out signals. 2 backs in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff. No, it's a keeper by Wyatt. He's going to fight his way inside the 10, keeps pulling forward down to about the 8-yard line. That play is going to work.
Every time. He faked it to Clark. Clark led him as a blocker, and that gave him enough to get up to that next level and push forward. I'm really impressed with Wyatt's play.
Be 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. This will be the 10th play of the drive. White calls out signals, takes a snap, wants to throw the football. Will throw the ball towards the corner of the end zone. Going to be incomplete. Just missed
maybe
the
one
intended
step
receiver
too much.
over there. That is Jake Tyler. Will go incomplete. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd goal for the Mavs.
Tyler had his man beat, and that was just maybe one step too much on that throw. But take up for Wyatt. He had some heat coming his way.
Again, 2nd goal. Watt's done a good job. We've had 4th down twice in this series. He's been able to pick up the 1st downs. In fact, this series we had a drop pass for a touchdown, so they've kind of had to overcome that just a bit. Here's a snap. White wants to throw the ball inside pass. It's going to be intercepted, but I believe it's going to be a pass interference. Looked like the inside receiver was hit before the ball got there.
Well, he was talking about Connor earlier, and that was Connor on that play. And it should be a pass interference call.
They'll spot the ball down at the 3-yard line. The 1st and goal for the Mavs, automatic 1st down, 11:26 to go here in the ball game. Southside trails 20-zip, but got a chance here as I spot the ball actually at the 4-yard line. It's not a spot foul. It will be half of the distance, which will be the 4-yard line as Connor Austin will check out. Check it back in will be Dimitri Lloyd, as Southside wants to get a little bit of beef on the line. Wyatt looks to get the play. He'll have Jack Clark in the backfield. Split out wide will be Josh Hannon with Jake Tyler in the slot.
Probably keep the ball on the ground here.
Wyatt takes a snap. He's going to keep the ball off the left side. Is going to be hit. A really nice defensive play for Little Rock Central. Getting in the backfield, really didn't have a chance. That is, I've got Karen Blaylock on the play. That's actually 42. I don't have a 42 on my roster, so we'll give Blaylock the credit.
Maybe lost a yard on the play, but wasn't much that Wyatt could do.
Be second and goal at the 5-yard line. Again, Southside goes with Clark in the backfield. White wants to throw an inside slant, going to be knocked away, and well, that had a chance to go the other way as the linebacker actually stepped in the passing lanes. That was Caleb Morton, the outside linebacker, stepped in the passing lane, had a chance to make a play. I don't think Wyatt saw him.
I don't think he saw him at all, and you know, that's one of the things when you're the guy that comes in as relief is, you know, you're not used to that everyday repetition, looking for that linebacker streaking across. Now we're seeing it, and he's seeing it live. But remember, this is all experience for his future.
I think what Wyatt, I would love to see him running some type of rollout, bring the receiver back from the opposite side. Here's a snap, and they're going to do a rollout, and they're going to throw a screen pass out complete to Dimitri Lloyd. He's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Southside.
Keith, you called it. That was the old tight end fall down play, wasn't it?
Yeah, mine was just a little bit different on what I was going to do. But
no, that was exactly what you saw.
But you got to, because what's happening is you've got to spread that field. You've got to get those guys moving from sideline to sideline, and that's what Southside did by doing that. And fortunately for them, I mean, that just cleared out. What a great call.
Yeah, it was an exploitation of their speed. We've got one player short. We're trying to get in the game.
Hope that's not the deep snapper.
No.
Isaac Banda on for the extra point. Ball's down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 10:40 to go here. And the clock ran. I don't know why on the extra point, but the clock ran off about 4 seconds. And we'll be back with the Southside kickoff after this. It's the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3.
The fall celebration is here at Crabtree RV. Take advantage of RV show prices
1 minute.
on hundreds of new models.
Do 30 seconds.
Wholesale and the public prices on dozens of
Will do.
RVs and the most money for your trade. These deals are so good, it's scary. So stop in today. The new 2020s are arriving daily, and all the 2019s.
Now if I lay on this wire, we don't have a buzz.
Crabtree RV in Alma, exit 13 on 540. Crabtree RV, where your family's dreams come true.
Back to the stadium and more Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
You're going to get a lot of confidence with that drive. That was a 12-play, 91-yard drive for the Mavs, a 4-yard touchdown pass from Luke Wyatt, a sophomore to another sophomore, Dimitri Lloyd, and Southside will kick off. Don't think, looks like they're expecting an onside kick, but I think we're a bit early for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think we would do that at all, but stranger things have happened.
Banda will kick off, and it will be an onside kick. It looks like Southside has a chance. Southside has it.
Wow.
That's Landon Chafee.
Wow. And Central had prepared for it, but Central didn't even step up for it.
Yeah, nobody. The ball was kicked. It actually didn't look like it was going to. I mean, it took a nice Central bounce for them, and nobody went for it. And Chafee ran by and got the ball for the Mavs.
Yeah. It's going to be near the 10-yard mark. The only thing I think the referees are discussing is did they touch it before they should have. Well,
yeah, Southside's got the ball. No, it was down the field. It's going to be spotted at the 47-yard line. So.
These guys scare me, though, when they have discussions, Keith, because, you know, it's kind of like Mark Twain said, no person is safe as long as the legislature is in session.
This group has done a good job tonight. It was that group last week.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I get a lot of agreement on that one, but what a big play for Southside as Wyatt wants to throw the ball over the middle, complete to Dimitri Lloyd. Lloyd gets down inside the 45 down to the 41-yard line, be a gain of 6 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 4 for the Mavs. And what a combination tonight of Luke Wyatt, Dimitri Lloyd, 2 big catches.
Well, and I think what they're seeing, the Southside coaches, is the linebackers are selling out because they're worried about Wyatt running, which is leaving Lloyd as the dragging tight end kind of in open space there.
He's second down, 2nd and 4 for the Mavs. Here's a snap to Wyatt. Wyatt's going to feel the heat. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. Not much he can do there as they come with an outside blitz. Off the left side, that is Caleb Morton. Gets him in the backfield. Be a loss of 6 on the play, brings up third down. Actually lost a 7, bring up third down, 3rd and 11.
Yeah, it just wasn't picked up at all by the guard or the tackle on the right side of the south side line. You've got to see that coming. You got to feel it. It's got to be instinct to pick that up.
Again, we got 9:30 to go here in the ball game. Southside trails 20-7. Big third down here for the Mavs. Third down, 3rd and 11. Got to take advantage of those breaks. Southside got one, recovering the onside kick. Here's a snap to Wyatt. Looks to throw the football. Still looks to throw the ball down the field. Has an open receiver who catches the ball at the 31-yard line. What a great catch. That's Josh Hannon on the catch for the Southside. We've seen some really good catches tonight. And there's a flag on the play.
It's probably going to be a hold.
Hold or roughing the passer.
Maybe roughing the passer.
I think it's roughing the passer. Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, if you want a baptism of fire, then Mr. White is finding that tonight, isn't he? And he's holding up to the test.
It's coming from all corners out there right now. So, yeah, you're exactly right. And another guy really stepping up here in the second half has been Dimitri Lloyd. 2 big catches here late in the ball game. But, yeah, Luke Wyatt, I mean, what can you say? He's come in here and after he got that touchdown, you can just see the confidence growing too.
Yeah, and that's what we've been talking about. We've got to feel that.
Be 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of Central for the Mavs. Here's a snap. Wants to throw the ball to the corner of the end zone to Connor Austin. Oh, the ball is tipped at the last second. Hits off Austin's hands, goes incomplete.
Oh, that was 6 points waiting to happen, and I still had hope for it even after it was tipped, but just bouncing around a little too much for Austin to be able to handle it.
One thing you have to think about, too, on that ball coming down, that's a very tough play once the ball is tipped, but that ball's also got to be, your hand's got to be cold.
It's cold, and it gets to moving around on you. It's even harder to snag up and go into your victory dance.
They'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. The ball is at the 18-yard line of Central against Southside Trails 20-7. Here's a snap to Wyatt. He rolls. He wants to throw the ball. Looks down the field. Throws to the corner. Going to be incomplete. Had 2 receivers in the area. Not sure who he had. Looked like, I believe that's maybe Connor Austin. No, not Connor Austin, but Hannon along with Jack Clark in that area. Throws the ball incomplete.
Yeah, I think he was just wanting something to happen there. And sometimes you force it. Sometimes you just throw it away, and let's start over and regroup. Those things will come. He's still a sophomore. Gets more experience under his belt, and a lot of film and a lot of repetition, and he'll be fine.
You live to see another day. You're exactly right. You've got to do that. He did the right thing, just getting that ball out of bounds. Again, another big third down for the Mavs. They trail 27, 8:43 to go here in the ball game. One back in the backfield. That's Jack Clark. Trip set to the left of Watt. Here comes the heat. He wants to throw the ball. Screen set up. Should be a flag. As
Clark was actually tripped and tackled, but no flag.
I'm thinking he may have tripped on his own feet.
He may have, but he went down pretty hard there.
And that would have been a touchdown. That was a touchdown.
Good play calling, good quarterback play. It's just one of those unfortunate events where the receiver couldn't keep his feet.
He had 3 or 4 blockers out there, 1 defender. He walks in the end zone. I hate to say it, but that's been Southside's season right there.
Yeah.
And, it's no fault of their own, but that just seems what happens to them. They're snake bit.
Yeah.
Again, 4th down, 4th and 10 for the Mavs. They'll go for it here. Here's a snap to Wyatt. Rose to his left. Wants to throw the ball. Throws the ball down the field. Going to be almost a great catch. Goes incomplete. The ball will go over on downs. That was, I believe that was Connor Austin.
It was. Yeah, right in his hands, but just couldn't bring it in.
It's going to be a hold on the Mavs anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. So the ball will go over on downs. And
still like the play if we're keeping the ball on this end of the field. We need a big stand from the defense. Defense will be getting their rest tonight.
You still got your timeouts. You got all 3 timeouts. Still plenty of time, but the key is you got to get it off the field. That's
it's got to be 3 and they're kicking. We can't really give them a whole lot here, and we haven't seen a whole lot of their offense here lately.
Again, they'll come out with 8:31 on the clock. Lawson Gunn, your quarterback, will be in the backfield. Now they'll shift back with Franklin. Here's a snap to Gunn. Gunn hands the ball off. Not much there. He gets away, and now we'll get a first down as he crosses the 25 up to the 26-yard line. That's Franklin on the carry. Sam Franklin will have the first down.
I think it's going to be 2nd down, Keith, but it's going to be close.
You almost wish it would just be first down because they can pretty much do what they want to here. They can run.
Right.
And with the play clock being what it is now, able to run 40 seconds off a play, any first down is really going to be like chunk time right now.
Yeah, and it was so sad there for the Southside defense because they had that play defended. They just couldn't wrap him up.
And Little Rock Central not in any hurry to get out of the huddle as they're down to 9 on the play clock. Lawson Gunn will go under center. Takes a snap, will hand the ball off to Franklin. Franklin's going to get hit and driven back at about the 28-yard line.
Be enough for first down, though. Yeah, Southside defense there read the play. They were there, but the unfortunate part was they only needed about a yard for the first down.
And they'll start the clock at 7:30 go here in the ball game. Southside trails by 13. Southside really needs a break. That's what it's coming down to right now.
Turnover would be wonderful at this stage of the game, but Central's not going to probably give us a whole lot of opportunity for turnovers.
Again, Lawson Gunn will work from the pistol formation. Interesting, Little Rock Central has worked gun under center, pistol formation, different multi-formations. Here's a handoff to Franklin. Franklin finds a bit of a hole, will be tackled at the 31-yard line. Will be a gain of 2 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 8. Making the play for the Southside defense, leading the charge. Looks like, again, Landon Chafee along with Leighton Johnson.
Yeah, and those holes are not very big that Franklin is going through, but you know, you look at it from up here and you think, well, they've got him stuffed, and the next thing you know, he's popping out for 5 yards.
Again, second down, 2nd and 7. And Southside might want to start thinking about using those timeouts, as Little Rock Central's not going to come out of the huddle until.
Yeah, really on defense is where you want to use them, because on offense you do have some control of stopping the clock. Defense you don't. You're kind of at the mercy of the other team.
20 seconds on the play clock right now, 6:24 on the game clock. Yeah, you can almost run a minute at a time off there as Central breaks the huddle with 8 on the play clock. Gunn works pistol formation, has Franklin in the backfield. Here's a snap to Gunn, rolls to his right, wants to throw the football, will throw the ball down the field. His receiver falls down, and that's a break for the Mavs right there, as that would stop the clock, 6:05 to go here.
Well, if you looked at that, we had a 5-man line. We were convinced they were going to run the ball. We were really not set up for that play defensively. So we're very fortunate for that break.
They'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Still hope. Not a lot, but still hope.
This needs to be a stop right here and a kick.
No doubt. And you put them in a passing formation here, as they will come up to the huddle with 17 seconds on the play clock. Here's a snap to Gunn. Here comes the heat. It's going to be a score.
Oh, there
intercepted.
It is.
It's going to be run back inside the 5. Touchdown, Southside.
Oh, what a play. That was a screen that they tried to set up, and number 35?
39. 35, Caleb Sanders.
Caleb Sanders stepped right into it, actually hit him in the chest, and what a great play and easy 6 points for him. This has got the crowd back into it on the south side part of the field, such as the crowd is. It's not real huge, but they're making some noise down there, Keith.
Isaac Banda will attempt the extra point. Kel Sheets on the hold. Ball is down. Kick is up, and he falls down. No good.
Yeah, we hope that doesn't come back to haunt us here. It's going to be a tight game here toward the end.
Southside trails now 20-13. Be back with the Mav kickoff after this. It's the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. I guess just do one.
Yes, sir.
What a big play for the Southside Mavericks as Caleb Sanders intercepts the ball at the 23-yard line, runs it back for a Southside touchdown, breaking a tackle at about the 5-yard line. Unfortunately for the Mavs, Isaac Banda falls down on the extra point. Is no good. Southside now trails 20-13, but still we're on that 7 number. with 5:55 to go here. Looks like Little Rock Central expecting an onside kick. I don't do it here because you got 3 timeouts. You're only down by 7. Your defense is playing really good.
Well, you got to remember, anything past Central is going to be a live ball, and they're selling out. They're all within the 50-yard line.
And now we've got a whistle on the play. Going to be a timeout by Little Rock Central. With that timeout, we'll take one, too. It's the Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3. Over here. I'll just do one.
Yes, sir.
Sanders is still getting hugs and high fives.
Welcome back. Central took a timeout. They had a man out position. It looked like where Southside might have tried to kick an onside kick. Nobody was there. Central wisely takes a timeout. We've got 5:55 to go here in the ball game. Southside trails 20-13.
They're still convinced that we're going to do an onside kick here. They didn't change their alignment at all, Keith, so my theory on why they called timeout kind of went out the window.
Well, if you kick it deep, it goes back to the 10. You've got a chance to get back there. I've seen Southside actually run under balls.
I'd keep it low and just let it bound around. No, we're going to do an onside kick here.
And here it is. It's on the ground. It's going to be recovered by Little Rock Central, and there's a flag on the play.
Maybe illegal touching. Where he threw the flag, though, can't be illegal touching. That'd be past the 10-yard mark.
It looks like Southside may go ahead and kick it again, so don't know what's going to happen here. One thing I will say about this officiating crew tonight, we've not had as many meetings at the mound as we've had last week.
Well, we're going to re-kick here.
It's going to be a penalty on Central. May have been offsides.
They may have been offsides.
Southside, what I think I'm of the belief you go ahead and kick it off.
I would just kick it on the ground, and get it somewhere down around the 10, and you've got a shot at getting it down there.
Well, you've got Lawson Gunn through the interception, so he's going to be a little bit shaky. So, yeah, take advantage of that. Set him up deep in his territory. And
there's nobody back there, so that's a live ball. There's just as much chance of getting the ball down there as there is up here.
Southside had a linebacker a few years ago, Cy Killenick, that could run under the ball. They did that a couple of times. Just an impressive play, and it's hard to believe when you see something like that, but that's what I'd do right here if I'm Southside. I go ahead and pooch that ball down there. As looks like Banda lined up maybe to, it's an onside kick again, and didn't give it a chance.
No, went out of bounds and just barely made the 10-yard line. Or 10 yards forward.
It didn't make 10 yards forward because it was kicked from the 45. So
you're right.
It went 5 yards. Yeah.
I was thinking it was from the 40.
Yeah.
That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah. I don't know that. This is what I don't know if there's a penalty on that, because if it goes out of bounds, it usually goes to the 35-yard line. So.
Well, the penalty would be it didn't go 10 yards, right?
Yes. So they're going to mark off one on Southside. They've got great field position, the Southside 45-yard line. That's 5:53 to go here, 3 timeouts. Your defense has played great all night. You got to trust the defense there.
It's on their shoulders.
The 1st and 10, the Southside 45-yard line. Here's a snap, here's a handoff, and that's Franklin hitting the backfield, going to lose 2 on the play.
Certainly a great stand there. It didn't look like that Central was even ready for that. It was as if the center had snapped the ball and nobody else was ready for the play to commence.
And that's Caleb Sanders, and Southside will take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take 1-2. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3. 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
I'll just go ahead and bring it back if you can. Second down, here's a handoff to Franklin, going to get inside the Southside 45 down to the Southside 42-yard line. Southside will take another timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one too. It's the Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Clay, just do one. How many more we got?
One commercial.
Huh?
Just one commercial?
Really?
Yes, sir.
We're home free.
So if you just want to keep it the rest of the game.
Okay, we will. We can do it.
And now more exciting Southside Mavericks football on Spirit 106.3.
Welcome back. It'll be third down, 3rd and 7 for the Central Tigers. They lead Southside 20-13, 5:38 to go here in the ball game.
This is the time you want your defense to really stand up, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go win this game and go home.
Ball spotted on the left hash at the 42-yard line of Southside. Lawson Gunn works under center. Takes a snap, will hand it off to Franklin, cuts it back inside. He's going to have a first down at the 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown.
They sold out to stop that in the backfield, and once he got past, there was nobody back there. Great job by Central. Southside has to suffer the consequences.
26-13 now, pending the extra point.
You know, Keith, that really is disheartening because you could feel the mood on the Southside sideline that, this is going to be a change. We're going to finish a game, and not to say we're out of it completely, but we really gave them good field position off that onside kick that didn't work.
Yeah, Kaylee Baker will tip the extra point. The extra point is up and it's good. Southside trails 27-13. We'll go ahead and just keep it here. And it's disheartening. They had a chance to get him there, and you're right, they sold out to try to make the play. But give Franklin credit. He breaks the initial surge of the Southside defense, gets in there and gets a touchdown. And what Southside needs right now, we need Jay Washington. If he's back there on the return, we need a big return.
We haven't seen him, so I'm really wondering if that one play he took where he really got his ankles hit pretty hard. I wonder if he's feeling it and he's not going to be back in the game tonight.
Yeah, Southside's played shorthanded tonight. Losing Parker Weehunt, and then Washington hasn't played as much.
Yeah, Weehunt is still on the sideline, still in uniform, but you can tell he's not moving very well.
Luke White will go back in place of Washington. I see Washington standing down there at about the 45-yard line, not going back in the ball game.
That's a tough blow because that's a lot of speed and a lot of experience.
But you look at the kids making the plays tonight for Southside here in the second half. Luke Wyatt, sophomore. Dimitri Lloyd, sophomore. Caleb Sanders, sophomore.
That's some very positive things for the future.
The Southside will get the ball back with 5:28 to go here, down by 14. Here's a kick that's going to come down to Connor Austin at the 20. He's at the 25. Tries to get outside, not much there, up to the 27-yard line. Hey, stay tuned for the West Arc Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services post-game show, where we'll name our Fort Smith Flooring Group offensive defensive players of the game. Check out West Arc Plumbing, water, sewer, and gas. They keep you flowing, commercial and residential, 646-5151.
Other than a run, Keith, just to keep the defense honest here, I mean, we're going to have to pass the ball the rest of the game to at least control some time management.
The other play I go back to that you talk about things, when Southside trying to win games, was the screenplay set up with Jack Clark on 3rd down, 3rd and 10. He falls down, tripped. I think he tripped on his own feet, and you had that play was set up for a touchdown. Here's a snap to White. Here comes the heat. White will take the ball deep down the field, throws the ball over the middle of the field, intended for Connor Austin. Had the right man picked out, but pressure was just a little bit too quick.
Yeah, he would have felt it even more, but Clark actually stepped over and gave a little chip block and kind of kept some of the heat off of him. But that presence was enough for him to have an errant throw.
They'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. 5:13 to go here. Southside trails 27-13.
Big play here would really loosen things up.
Trip set wide side of the field. Here's a snap to Wyatt. Here comes the heat. It's going to be a screen pass set up nicely to Jack Clark, and Clark will get across the 30 up to the 32-yard line. Had a lead blocker out there, but the blocker overran the defender, or he may have got a first down.
Yeah, and that's the same setup as the play you were just mentioning, except for the difference was there wasn't a wall out there in front of him like there was when he tripped.
When he tripped, there was 4 Mavericks in front, 1 defender.
Yeah, and end zone that said Tigers.
Exactly. Again, third down as White looks to throw the ball down the field. He's being held. Should be a flag. There's going to be a flag on the play. Should be pass interference. They can call holding, but the ball was in the air. Let's see if it's holding or pass interference.
Tyler was actually trying to loosen number 4's grip on him, using his hands in a backwards fashion, trying to break free where he could get to that ball, but he really had a hold of him.
Yeah, this is the play, too, always frustrates me sometimes. It's going to be pass interference, but how many times do you see something like that happen, a guy being held, and they say it's an uncatchable ball?
It's uncatchable because he was held.
I know it is, but I've still seen that call at times. But nonetheless,
in fact, we've already had that call in one of our games at home this year, which was the statement of the referee was, well, it wouldn't have been a completed pass anyway. Well, we'll never know, will we?
Be first and 10 for the Mavs. They'll spot the ball just short of the Southside 46-yard line. 4:58 to go here. Southside trails 27-13. Get us quick score here. You still got a chance.
Quick score is what we need, and we're actually stretching the field quite a bit with these pass plays.
White steps in the pocket, will throw the ball complete. That is Jake Tyler, crosses midfield, fights hard, and will be pulled down at about the 48-yard line. Be a gain of 7 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 3 for the Mavs.
About 4:40 left to go in the game. It's not danger time, but we don't need to be dawdling here.
White looks at the sidelines to get the plays, and that's another part of the game that is a struggle for Southside. You got to get the plays run quick, and you've got a young sophomore just getting his first varsity action at quarterback. Here's a snap. White steps up, wants to throw the ball, throws the ball, going to be incomplete. Had an open receiver, actually had a man breaking down the middle of the field. That was Connor Austin running by his lonesome as Tyler drew double coverage, actually triple coverage with both safeties leaving the middle of the field wide open.
Yeah, and Clark is staying in to kind of help protect Wyatt. And, you know, Wyatt's been susceptible to those side rushes coming off those edges. Clark's doing a good job of keeping his quarterback on his feet.
Bring up third down, 3rd and 3 for the Mavs. Here's a snap to Wyatt. Wants to throw the ball. Will throw the ball. Had a miscommunication between himself and Josh Hannon. Thought it was going to be a hitch and go, and it was just a hitch. The ball goes incomplete.
Hitch with a hook, and Hannon was standing where he was supposed to be standing, but Wyatt sailed the ball about 20 yards past him.
Again, another big 4th down. Obviously, this is your ball game right here. 4th and 4. Southside trails 27-13. 4:11 to go here in the ball game.
You know, and the important thing here is not 6 points. It's about 4 yards.
Exactly.
That's our game right there.
Exactly. Yeah, the big play that Southside really has worked for them tonight, for the most part, has been the screen play and screen pass, but I'm not sure that's what you do here. Again, 3rd down, they're coming with the heat. Now they'll bring a man in motion. Here's a snap, a rollout by Wyatt. Wyatt wants to throw the ball, has an open receiver, incomplete. A diving attempt over there by Jake Tyler. The ball will go over on downs.
Yeah, just a bit exuberant there on that throw and led him maybe a step or two too much. Really sad to see because of the effort put out here tonight by the Southside Mavericks. Wyatt's got nothing to be ashamed of.
This team really has no quit in them. They try, and I know Coach talks about this each week. This group loves to play football. They love to play football, and I think, you know, your record's going to be 1-8 going into your last ball game, but you still feel pretty good about the effort these kids put out. Here's a snap. The ball's on the ground, recovered by Lawson Gunn, and
there's some discombobulation on the central line. You remember they had to play in the last series. They had the ball where the ball's getting snapped, and I'm not sure that's the count everybody knows it's going to be snapped on.
And here's another thing. I was just watching the clock. They ran 5 seconds off the clock before they started the 40-second clock. So
yeah, well, it is home time management.
Well,
here.
but that's a pretty simple. They put that in there to make it where you can't do that.
Yeah, that's not what's happening.
Again, second down, 2nd and 11. Southside gets a stop here. They'll probably use their last time out. Again, 3:22 to go here. Southside trails by 14 as Central rushes up the line of scrimmage. Gun works under center. Now brings a man in motion. We'll hand it off to the motion man. That's Franklin. Franklin's going to be hit.
Oh,
tackle.
good open field tackle.
Good play. That is Dakota Wareheim making a big play for the Southside defense. 3:05 to go here. Just a bit surprised Southside doesn't go ahead and use that last timeout. Down 27-13.
Yeah, and of course Central, I mean, they're going to be coached. You take as much of this 40 seconds as you need to, even down to the last 10. They're kind of staying in like a little sugar huddle. And with about 10 seconds to go, they're jumping up there on the ball.
Well, what they've seen in film is Southside reacts a lot of times. We saw last week Southside jump in the neutral zone, a chance to get off the field against Catholic.
Already done it once tonight.
We saw it against, I believe it was Cabot, they did it. So here they come up again, third down. Gunn works under center, takes a snap, he will hand it off, and there's Sean Rogers, hits him, and then he's going to be hit again
now
and dropped in the backfield.
I think we have a timeout now.
Yeah, Southside will take a timeout. Trying to see who got off the pile for Southside. I believe, again, that was trying to get the number. I believe that was Caleb Sanders again. Yeah, Caleb Sanders.
He's had a ball game, hadn't he?
He's done well tonight. And we'll go ahead and keep it here again. 2:21 to go here. Southside trails 27-13. Again, I want to thank our season sponsor, Frank Rowe Furniture. Can you say that? Frank Rowe Furniture.
You know, I wish I could. I hear that on the radio, and I think that would be something to be able to say. But, you know, he's got the best seats in the house, no credit check financing. Made in the USA, he's got everything. Recliners, sofas, beds, tables, chairs, appliances, washers, dryers, stoves, refrigerators, 479-478-7006. Or you can visit him online, www.frankrowefurniture.com.
Also want to thank Chafee Construction. One call does it all, 434-5203. Wheeler Power Sports. Wheeler makes it easy, 226-8724. And I love this line, Cheshire's Fine Jewelry. If you can dream it, they can make it, 646-6715. And also Fort Smith Flooring Group off Highway 71 near Carpet Cabin. Look for the big yellow sign, 479-289-7111. Keeling Baker will punt the ball away for Little Rock Central. Back deep for Southside will be Connor Austin. Stands at his own 25-yard line. Here's another high snap, and he's going to run the football. He is going to get hit and knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
That's a good result to that play, Keith. That gives us a lot better field position we would have had if he'd been able to make the kick.
That's been an adventure tonight. That's about the third time we've seen a high snap. And Baker, I guess that's all he does is kick. Got to be a soccer player.
Yeah. I don't know. He may be from Australia, the way he likes to take off to that side.
He scared me because he almost had the first down.
He really did, and I was really looking at the chains, but what I was comfortable with is he likes to kick with his right foot, and he was running to his left. So he would have really been something if he could have kicked with either foot.
Who was the kicker for Arkansas? Had Sam Irwin Hill, the Australian
he could do
kicker.
that.
He could do that.
Yeah.
They get first and 10 for the Mavs at their own 45-yard line, trailing 14-2-11 to go here in the ball game. White throws the ball, going to be complete.
Oh, perfect.
That's Connor Austin.
Oh.
One step away, is tackled at the 38-yard line.
Perfect hit in stride, right on the numbers. Couldn't ask for a more beautiful play. Got them on their heels. Now's the time to snap that ball and let's keep going.
Trip set, wide side of the field. Here's a snap. They want to throw the other way. It's going to be complete. That again is Connor Austin inside the 25 down to the 21-yard line.
Now the beauty of this is with Austin and the activity, he's attracting a lot of attention. That may leave 31 Tyler wide open.
Austin, I believe it was last week, he was the one that had the cramps, and you just saw the heart of that young man last week.
Just kept coming back.
Kept coming back, didn't want to go out, and just love the effort. Again, first and 10 for the Mavs. Trip set, wide side of the field. Here's a snap to Wyatt, rolls to his right. Still rolls, throws the ball over the middle, going to be incomplete. Tried to get the ball to Josh Hannon at about the 8-yard line. A good job of Wyatt. What I like what they're doing here, Phillip, is the fact that they're not staying in the pocket. I love it when he is moving because he's a dual threat when he moves. Wyatt has the ability to gain yardage with his feet.
Well, and that tends to bring people open because other defenders have to step up and respect his speed. Guess who was wide open on that play, even though we didn't hit him? That was Tyler.
Again, second down, second and 10 at the 21-yard line. Wyatt takes a snap, throws the ball, going to be...
They're going to give it to him. Boy, he had to reach his arm flat on the ground to pick that ball up.
Yeah, I believe that was Jackson Riddle on the catch, number 22. That was a great catch.
That was a great catch.
Clock running. 1:16 to go. Here's White, takes a snap, wants to throw the ball, goes deep to the end zone.
Got him. Oh.
Going to be incomplete. A nice effort over there by Connor Austin. The defender over there, Antonio Westbrook, did really what Chase Reyna had done earlier in the ball game. The sideline's your friend.
Yeah, he still almost made the play, and that would have been some kind of impressive catch.
Obviously, your ball game here, 1:10 to go. Southside trails by 14. Got to get a first down. As you said, you don't necessarily have to have the touchdown, but you better get 5 yards. And almost got it there as they almost jumped in the neutral zone as White looks to the sideline to get the play. Southside trip set to the right of White. As White takes a snap, he rolls to his right, looks to throw the ball to the corner of the end zone.
Out of room.
Should be a lot of face guarding going on there. Will be incomplete.
Yeah, the back judge was right on top of the ball there, and no call, but I think the central player actually is the one who suffered from that encounter.
And that's going to be your ball game tonight. Again, 1:03 to go here. Southside, another heart-wrenching loss. You can go back to about 4 or 5 plays in this ball game that you're thinking, man, if we could have made those, could have won this thing. And yeah, the defense really played their heart out, and there was they had a couple of big plays they did give up, but they really kept us in this game tonight.
And you know who greeted White when he came off the field, even though he wasn't successful, was Parker Wheathunt. You love to see that.
Be 1st and 10, probably take a knee here. No, they're going to go ahead and run the football with Franklin off the left side. He's going to get a big gain, and across the 25 to the 30-yard line will have a first down.
You would think with a 40-second continuous clock that from here on it would be all victory formation.
You'd think, and all they have to do is run one more play. You think they would, but
clock should start back once the chains are set.
And they'll have to run one more play, and this game will be in the books. Again, 22 on the play clock and 36 on the game clock, and they're going to run victory formation right here. Just go ahead and run the clock out, and Southside will fall to 1-8, 0-6 in the conference as we're down to 20 seconds to play here, and that's going to be your ball game. Southside's going to fall tonight 27-13. Be back with the West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning post-game show after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Sprint 106.3. If you want to just run one commercial, we'll do one segment and get out of here.